Ladies and gentlemen and everybody here, welcome to the ProPokeBowl Season 5. My name is ProPokeBowl. I will be your commentator bringing you through the entirety of the season. Don't worry about the finger, I heard it during football, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you for joining us for another exciting season as we get in with 11 coaches looking to take another championship to add to the history of this entire channel. First things first, I thought I'd turn those off. I hate you, Sai. Thank you very much for that sub, though. World Leader, thank you very much for that sub as well. 25 months for Sai, 3 months for World Leader. Before we start everything, I'd like to thank DizzyIllustrations.com, Xeno505, the big man Tony himself. He has not only made all of the graphics for the ProPokeBowl, but they are looking absolutely phenomenal. He deserves all the applause and all the love in the world. The man has done everything so well for this channel, and I can't thank him enough. The ProPokeBowl would not look this good without him. 100%. A giant Kappa clap in chat, if you do care enough. But we're here. It's time to do draft. We have to get into this. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the podcast, we have weekly shows going on with myself and Amagamma doing the updates on all the news and announcements that you need to know for the ProPokeBowl. The coaches have received the emails. They know what they're doing tonight. It's draft night. They will be grabbing their teams, and that is what we're doing. That's it. Simple. I had a whole script. Tossed it. I couldn't rip it, though. I had to eat it. Anyways, are we ready, chat? This shirt? Actually, I just got this shirt from... I don't remember. I just kind of got the shirt. The way this works is... Snowbird, did you sub? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I missed that. Did you? What'd you do? I'm so lost. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, there's no pools. That's my bad. Thank you very much for that, host officer. Let's talk about how the ProPokeBowl works. It is a mixed OU draft tournament. Coaches will be drafting 12 Pokemon between 2 pools, and will be working through a system. It is a snake format that essentially makes them choose from different pools depending on their odd-numbered drafts. You'll get into it once you see it, but they will have to draft in a particular order. For a quick rundown, PU Pokes can be drafted with anything. OU, RU, NU, and UU all have to follow certain conditions. You're going to get into it, but first we need to get the coaches introduced. Let's do that now. Once I know where all of my scenes are, wouldn't be a ProPokeBowl without me getting lost. Let's meet the teams. Starting with a very famous battler on this channel, has done 3 seasons, but brings nothing but a lot of threat and a lot of knowledge to the scene. A good friend of mine who did Poketubing with me. It will be Team I Am Groot with the coach, Sweetie. Now this next coach comes with such a back history. It is ridiculous, and we must tell a tale of one man with one dream and one punch, looking to glide in the winds and the waves with electricity behind him. There is nothing more heinous than to hate on the very attack that he is known for, the ultimate meme of the ProPokeBowl. The Golden State Greninjas themselves would not be able to run without having at least 9 Pokemon that could use this attack. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you, the Golden State Greninjas, with Coach, World Leader, 9000! coach number 3. He's lurking. He's always around. You don't know he's there. But he'll find you. And he'll learn. He'll sneak up on you. Coach of Team Ice Cold, Initiator! Our 4th coach. It is true what they said about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that every character belongs in the game, and every coach comes back to the Pro Pokeball. A coach that is starting to make a name for himself. The coach of the LA Golden Lucarios, Eventual Coma. Our 5th coach. Someone who comes from another distant land of another Twitch chat. One who found the tournament. One who wants to prove their worth. And what better way to do it than bringing the Gen 4 representative. The coach of the Lunar Cresselias, Jillip. Just kidding, Tyler Poke Trainer. Somebody met Steve, did you mess up the notes? Yeah, you messed up the notes. You mixed up the names. Way to go, jackass. You're fired again. Then you're rehired because I need help. Thanks. Tyler Poke Trainer, everybody. Our 6th coach. One that brings lots of attention. People hate him. People love him. People put him in top 6. Others say he's washed up. Going from a team of 8 Pokemon Week to Rocks to a team that led him to the Season 2 champion. Coach of the Manchester Manectric, Ivan Valdez 11. Now, you gotta have guts to enter as a new competitor into the tournament when you have this as your soundtrack. Not enough time to introduce this person, but there's not much history. Let's see if the coach of the Miami Milotics, will get it as good as I remember the name, Coach Jillip. I'm grooving out in the back, by the way. Our 8th coach. Not a Kingslayer yet, but one that has been looking to prove himself. as a top contender in the Pro Pokeball. Talks big, has the biggest fans, and is trying to learn under some of the most professional players in this tournament. Some say he will never make it, but if it's any consolation, the only person returning with the same branding, coach of the Sarasota Suicoons, Gamer 5980 version 2. We saw him step in at the end of Season 4. Showed how well he could do, and I quote, "If a Pro Pokeball comes back and I'm free, I'm building my own team." Lo and behold, that coach has entered the Pro Pokeball arena. Coach of the Transverse City Thunderous, Sharking 319. Not only did you meet this coach in the Season 4 finals, but took the championship and always finds a way to choose a song with lyrics in it to make these intros difficult. The man who took draft, took the hearts of everybody, and took the championship last season is back to go for the 2 times. Coach of the Fortnite Ninjas, Mitchy W. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, our third new competitor came in from that person that I was talking about before with Thunder Punch. The coach that is left over, but certainly not the last. Not looking for last. In fact, so powerful, he sides with dragons. Some speak of him in dragon lore as maybe the next coach that could become a champion here on twitch.tv/ProPokeNoob. Mysterious, but powerful. And he wants you to buy his game. Coach of Todd, Skyrim, Howard. Soto Dude, 21! Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Season 5 Pro Pokeball roster. Celebrations in chat for all of them who'll be going through the next 11 weeks looking for the top, looking for the memes, looking for the teams that they want. And we are here to crown another champion. On the low, I really like this song. I've never heard it before. You guys ready for this? I'm ready for this. The names have already been randomized. It's time to get into it. Let's quickly go over these rules as we go into the draft day. As I mentioned, they'll be drafting 6 Pokemon from each different pool. What they will have to do is, depending on their odd number drafts and bans, it will influence their even number drafts and bans. Drafting or banning from OU will lead them to a PU ban or draft required. Drafting from UU will require them to take from NU or RU or PU. Same thing with bans. An NU or RU draft will lead them to UU or PU, and a PU draft or ban will lead them to any other tier in their even number drafts. You'll get used to it. Here we go. Bring us up to pool number 1. The coaches will have 10 minutes to determine as we talk about the pools. If you heard the explanation on the Pro Poke podcast, you're going to be ahead of the curve, but if not, we'll have a lot of time to discuss. Take a look at what the coaches are going to want. Let's get that order ready. Once they are posted, they will have 10 minutes. The coaches know how to do this. You will at ProPokeDube with your response. All responses are final unless there is any mess-ups with the drafting choice that you have made. You will be banning first, followed by 2 picks, and then we will re-randomize the pick order. If there are any questions from coaches, this is your final chance to do it now. But Pool 1 has officially started, with the Miami Milotics being first draft, Sarasota Suicunes in second, Transfer City Thunder is third, Fortnite Ninjas fourth, Todd Skyrim Howard fifth, Ice Cold in the middle, I Am Groot 7th draft, 8th draft going to the LA Golden Lucarios, 9th draft going to the Golden State Greninjas, 10th to the Manchester Manetrics, and following up on the double, the Lunar Cresselias. You have 10 minutes, coaches. Good luck. There are 2 pools, Snow Bear. Have hope. I use Old Spice Mitch. Matches my age. Anyways, no, you'll be submitting it through this chat, Twitch chat, World Leader, and Soto. Keep in mind that these orders do mess up every second pick and draft. So let's talk about this. We talked about pick order on the Pro Poke podcast. Let's go over it. Gamma can also give his input into chat if he's still talking. But essentially what you want to be looking at is there's going to be, depending on where you are in the early stages or the later stages of the draft, it's going to determine what type of Pokemon you're going to be looking for. Generally speaking, Pool 1, you want to be in first to try and grab the one that is going to start you off with your team. Try and look for that linchpin, that Pokemon you're going to want to try and build around either offensively or defensively. Most times in the past, we've seen defensive cores picked up. Defensive core leads to basically making anything good once you figure out how to do it. Why is this a different size? Huh. Oh, right. Aha. Because I have the wrong thing open. Boop! There we go! That's much better. Nope, we cannot. It is Snake from ban to draft, yes. So the way that it'll go is it'll be a ban first, followed by 3 picks, and then we will go the reverse order for banning, and then 3 more picks. Always following Snake format. Everything will be guided by myself. Do not worry, you guys will not get lost. Just make sure you don't post your entries early, because I'm only keeping up so much, and as you saw, one of my hands are incapacitated. Nonetheless. So, if you're in the front, you're going to try and grab those Pokemon up. If you're in the back, though, at the back end of the drafting order, not the worst, because it can be a little reactive, but it can also be kind of see what people are picking up, and you might be able to pick up a response Pokemon the easiest. People generally in the middle are the ones that have the toughest time with drafting, but luckily for them, they get re-randomized, and if they do get stuck in the middle again, well then blame RNG, don't blame me. I just click the button, and I put the names in. So, let's talk about this. Pool 1 was arguably the weaker of the 2. Gamma had a different argument with it, which was still fine. There are quite a bit of OUs that have been slotted in. There have been a slightly big balancing with bringing OU numbers up and bringing PU numbers down. NU and RU are also amalgamated from last season, where it was PU and NU put together for the past 3 or 4 seasons. Now we've amalgamated NU, RU to create a bigger middle, lower end pool. Totem Pokemon are banned, Darkness. However, so Tyler, the way that it'll work, because I can't remember your name. Oh my goodness. The way that it'll work is you'll pick first, then we go back into the order, or if you're talking about the second ban, you'll ban first, then we go back in the reverse order to then pick again. You'll see. Yeah, I know your real name's Tyler. I'm getting lost with what team you are. I'm still getting used to that. Takes me about 3 or 4 weeks to get used to everybody's teams. Don't worry, we'll get there. Yes, you will ban last and then you'll pick last after that. There is a lot of power that's been found in this. Pool 2 would be even more of a determining factor with evening out teams. In this one, you see a lot of weather. A lot of weather was found in Pool 1. Also, a lot of offensive threats that can be put to great use. UU actually looking fairly stacked with a lot of the Pokemon that we thought would just have good offensive coverage to be able to take on a lot of Pokemon that you find in this tournament. There is a significant lack of electric and grass types that would be able to fit the bill, and they're going to kind of be in high demand. Also keep in mind that any Pokemon that get left over get thrown into a trading pool, and with that trading pool, coaches can now trade once every week if they wanted to between coaches and the pool. That means that even though there are these Pokemon left over, there's still a chance for them to play around if they want to adjust their teams slightly. So the way that it works, officer, is they choose one, depending on which one they choose on their odd number drafts, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Their second, fourth, sixth, 8th, 10th, and 12th draft will be determined by tiers. So, for example, if they first pick an OU Pokemon, on their second draft, they have to pick a PU Poke. They can take as many as they want from each pool. There's no restrictions as long as they are following the drafting format with the different tiering. That's all there is to it. There can be 6 OUs and 6 PUs on a single team. It'll just come down to how they work out as they see the coaches constantly scooping up, because we have it this year where there's at least 2 OUs open per coach. Whether or not they'll get their hands on it or want to get their hands on it will be completely different. But nonetheless, because it's a little more top-heavy in the tournament now, there's a lot of options that people have to think about when it comes to their banning and when it comes to their picking. We pinned a lot of Pokemon that could be a lot of threats. We don't expect Tapus to make it through. Stuff like Heatrank, Greninja, and maybe some of the Ultra Beasts, these giant sweepers. We got Kartana and Hawlucha on the watch. There's a lot of Pokemon that we don't expect to actually get on anybody's team. Or, if you're within the first 4 picks of Miami, Milotics, Suicunes, Thundurus, or the Ninjas, then those are the coaches that are going to try and pick up those powerhouses and try and leverage them later on, if they can play around it. Just because a coach has gotten a good Pokemon in the past does not mean that they have won. We have seen some phenomenal drafts coming out of many, many teams that are in this tournament today, but many of them were not able to execute properly, whether it was a draft composition problem, a playstyle composition. Nonetheless, good team does not just equal simple wins. It comes with skill, and it also comes with direction. And that's what we're going to be looking at here is the last 3.5 minutes check down for the coaches. Once that 3 minutes is up, we will call on Miami Milotics to make their first ban. And as I mentioned, please give me some time, as it will take a fair amount of time for me to move stuff around today. Copying and pasting and all that stuff is going to be very difficult with this finger, so. Got him. Also, if it's possible to do this, I will be putting every single Battle Week out in podcast form as well. You will have the music. It will be potentially unedited, or if I do editing, it'll be to cut out breaks. But if I can get enough time to edit, the ProPokeBowl will be coming to the ProPoke podcast for you guys to be able to listen to it like radio. Also, look for a Google Play podcast site that I'm going to try and come up with here. I'm going to try and make an account on Google Play so you guys can actually listen to it beyond YouTube. Unfortunately, there's not enough room on SoundCloud for me to keep that up, and I don't have enough money to run any other podcasting sites, but keep up to date with all the things if you'd like to. If you're interested in the ProPokeBowl and want to join it next time, make sure you look at !PPB. That'll give you all the information on the rules. These coaches have been looking over the rules, or if not, I'm going to explain it to them non-stop. But nonetheless, these coaches are putting in a lot of time and devotion, and they appreciate your support. And if you want to really support them and guess who's going to be the best teams out of here, make sure you take part in Fantasy League. Winners do come out of it with a $10 Steam gift card at the end of the season. Incentives for you being a Psychic type with a lot of future sight. 2 minutes remaining, coaches, and then we will start right away into all of this. People in chat, what Pokemon are you liking? Who do you think's going to be picking it up? I definitely think those Pokemon that we mentioned on the Pro Poke podcast between my Gamma and myself, the Tapu, Thundurus, these types of Pokemon are just going to get looked at and/or they're going to be picked and/or banned. There's a few that I would look to see, you know, depending on if they want to really value that OU enough to throw away their second pick, which might not be the worst in this particular situation, considering that there are a lot of Pokemon in Pool 2 to be picked up. So I do expect the Pool 1 to kind of just be the padding and grab the best of the best, but then really build your composition out using Pool 2. In a years where we've had Pool 1 be stronger, it actually makes it kind of difficult for trying to figure out how you're going to finish off your team, because the people who came up with the strongest Pokemon from Pool 1 generally ran the whole thing, considering that they grabbed just kind of snippets and pieces here that can make their Pool 1 drafts the best, depending on when they got their draft in order. But now that it's in Pool 2, where we see a lot more powerhouses, getting messed over here can give you direction still. You're not completely lost. You're not going to lose a lot of things. You're just mostly going to be looking for that answer and just going from there. 40 seconds, and then we get the Pro Pokeball drafting going. Nope, because I'm going to take 10 minutes to rest my voice. But I like talking. Good to see everybody coming out to chat, by the way. Thank you very much for supporting this season after season. It is one of the biggest events on this channel, and I'm glad that everybody gets to spend it as a community-based event that will always be accessible to every player of all play styles, skills, and the such. The timer is done. Let it begin. Let's get the 1 minute set up here. First ban, Miami Milotics. Give me 1 second here. Let me go grab everything here. I'm going to pull this actually out of the thing here. Boop. No, I'm not. Oh, God. I broke everything. Hey. All right. Miami Milotics. That is Jillip. Your first ban, please. Let's go. At ProPokeNoob. Let me know. What are we gutting? I didn't start the timer, did I? I'll get used to this. Don't worry. Especially with my left hand. Oh, I can smell dinner. That's terrible. Terrible in the fact that I can smell dinner. Jillip, your first ban. If not, it will be a randomized ban. Anybody who does not answer on time, by the way, will have their team randomized. So make sure you don't mess it over. Also, keep in mind, fantasy draft depends on you guys being here and on. He will be randomized into things then, if that is going to be the way it is. He has been pinged. Unfortunate. Hey, yo, Tim, you got it right. Let's get the randomizer out. Let's see what he is banning. We saw this before, and there was a really interesting team built for Inert Fury back in Season 3, I believe. And, yeah, that went kind of well. Here we go. He's going to be banning from NURU. And how many Pokemon is that? Oh, God. There we go. His ban will be... I don't know what number that is. Let's count. Here we go, chat. Let's count to 29. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. He is banning Goodra. Goodra is gone from the Pro Pokeball this time around. Goodra is a very good Pokemon. It's good for the value, in my opinion. Just because it carries... Oh no, I messed everything up. Goodra has a good amount of bulk that can go and run with it. It's good for its NURU pickup, and we're not going to see it this time around. Sarasota Sweetcoons, Gamer, your ban, please. I played PTCGO, Glennis. How you doing, man? Welcome to the Pro Pokeball. Man, it's hard to remember that I have to hit the timer. Oh well. I trust that he's going to be on time because he knows. Tapu Lele is gone. Not surprising to anybody. Tapu Lele just brings a fair amount of Wealth of Power, utility, everything that you want in your Pokemon, and Psychic Fairy typing to boot. This Pokemon's a powerhouse, and I don't think it's ever going to make it into a Pro Pokeball, ever. Transfer City Thundurus, your ban, please. This is a draft tournament that I run every year or so, Glennis. It is a mixed OU draft tournament on Pokemon Showdown. Tangrowth will be the ban. Tangrowth has Regenerator, also becomes a giant pain in the butt to deal with if mixed with other good defensive cores. You could expect Tangrowth to be not only a Season 2 champion with its wonderful Chlorophyll Ancient Power set that it ran, but has the utility to put Pokemon to sleep, has knockoff, carries a good amount of damage with it, both physically and specially. And it's gone. Fortnite, Mitchie, what is your ban? It is going to be a Greninja. Nice and quick, I like it. I don't think Greninja's much of a surprise either. We pinned this thing as being basically El Flexibo. It's just too flexible for a lot of people to manage. They shouldn't have to ever manage it. It's gone. Todd Skyrim Howard. Soto Dude. Your ban, please. Doesn't want paper cuts on his Pokemon? I don't blame him. Dragons probably don't like getting cut into. Kartana, very, very phenomenal. I found out on the Pro Poke Podcast. This thing has a whopping 181 attack, has some good coverage moves offensively. It can rip apart teams. If the defense is down, this thing is sweeping and finishing off your team in a jiffy. Initiator is called Charizard. Nice. Charizard obviously having access to 2 Megas will have that good flexibility going for it, but also just being a very big powerhouse when it does Mega. It does kind of pigeonhole you, also gives you an option to run a little bit of Sun in the draft if you're looking to try and do a little bit of Weather Wars, but also just get things going. I am Groot! Sweet D! Araquanid is banned. Araquanid is a big pain. Very good defensive Pokemon, as we thought this would kind of happen. Defensive cores, very, very good to try and solidify. There's a lot of defensive Pokemon that can be picked up, but the more you ban, the less there's going to be. Araquanid carries an ability that has fire attacks, fire damage done to it, as well as just sports a lot of attack. It can stand there and just kind of be a wall breaker. It can also just bring Sticky Web. It brings a lot of things to your team, and for being an NURU pick, fairly good. LA Golden Lucarios want Thundurus T gone. Thundurus T kind of pinged this middle of the tier compared to other Pokemon in my opinion. However, Thundurus T does bring that beautiful coverage in terms of its Nasty Plot, being able to carry that with agility, has a good Thunderbolt stab. It doesn't get Air Slash, but it can just sweep through a lot of teams if it's set up properly. It's still a good threat to deal with if you don't think you're going to be able to deal with it yourself. Golden State Greninjas, your ban, please. Make sure you guys are adding me. Thank you very much for doing that. It's helped me keep up with it a lot, considering I'm looking at multiple screens here. Swampert being gone. Okay, so Swampert was a bit of an odd one that we talked about on the podcast. Swampert is a very good defensive Pokemon if you run it that way. It also gives you the option to go Mega if you want to run it in a rain team. There are a lot of water ground types, or just a lot of water types in general that you're going to find in this format, but Swampert being the one that can become a little bit more flexible, understandably banned. We'll see what he's going to pivot into when he goes to his PU ban next time around. Manchester Manectric, your ban, please. They ban one Pokemon, pick 3 Glennis, and then they ban a second one, and then pick 3 more. Then we go to pool number 2. By the way, for those of you who are watching, please keep in mind I'm trying my best to watch the chat. If I do miss you, don't worry. My mods are going to let me know. And also, mods, need you to tell me, how are the music levels? I've been playing around with them for a while. Thank you, Sharking. I'm not used to the timer, and everybody's firing them off, so. Music's fine? Thank you very much. He should be here. I did see him earlier. With the OU pool being picked apart quite a bit already, you could definitely see where that UU strength is going to come from. Do expect a lot of UUs and maybe NU-RU pickups on the first 2 rotations before being switched out. NU-RU to UU is pretty safe, honestly. So... Oh, we know Slowbro something. This is Ivan's time. Ivan. Actually, you know what? I can show it by just doing this. Ivan, it is your time, my friend. Where are these guys? I didn't do a sign-in because I didn't have enough time to set up a sign-in form, but it's kind of important to do it. Unfortunately, though, his ban is going to get randomized. So let's see what he's banning. First things first. Which tier are you getting? He's banning for PU. Oh, PU broken, though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 31. Here we go. He is banning Mischievous! Mischievous, that giant-ass threat that nobody's afraid of because Knockoff will destroy it. Mischievous will be Ivan's ban. I'm surprised Mischievous got in. It was one of those troll ZU picks that had slipped through once we exhausted the PU pool. But nonetheless, Mischievous is gone. Lunar Cresselias. Tyler Poke, your ban, please. It's your time, last ban, and then we go back up to the top where Miami Milotics will make the very first pick to put onto the teams. Zeraora! Gamba was very passionate about this Pokemon. I've never personally used it. I know that it gets good coverage, its speed is fairly good. If you're not looking at a Tapu Koko or, you know, not looking at... If you're looking at the number of electric types in this draft, taking away one of the good ones like Zeraora is pretty good. Plastifist is obviously a base 100 physical stab hit, does a lot of damage, and it's also just going to be carrying that coverage. I think it can also go on the special side. Never, like I said, I don't know enough about it, but I do know that it can be a bit of a pain if not played against properly. So that will be a UU ban coming out. The only UU ban on this time around, going for it. Here we go. One sec. Alright, Milotics. This is your time, your first pick. Make sure you know the repercussions. And here we go. Oh yeah, he's not here. What the hell? Angela. Well, we'll give him the minute anyways. Who knows? Actually, Glennis, you don't need to do follow age anymore. You can click on your name and you can see how long you've been following here for. Well, we're going to see what he's... I don't know, man. This could be some very... we're going back to the days of Star-Lord. Shoutouts to Star-Lord being the absolute hero who had to endure whatever he endured when it came down to his picks. If he wins with it, let's see what he's going for. His pickup is actually Machamp. Actually, not a bad randomization. We've seen this before. Machamp does have some good sets with it now. There are a couple of sets that are notable. You can go the Guts. You can go Guts with Flame Orb. You can also go Guts with what is it? You can go Guts with Close Combat. You can also go No Guard with Dynamic Punch. It's a fairly solid Pokemon as Assault Vester. Does a good amount of damage. The thing that really suffers from is its movesets are okay, but it only has the one stab, and its speed kind of hinders it a bit. However, not the worst pickup in the world. Sarasota Suicunes, your first pick, please. Ivan, you're right in time, man. You missed a ban, but don't worry, you're going to get your first pick in. Gamer's just going to scoop up Heatran. This Pokemon did make it through, and I think, in my opinion, that is a fantastic Pokemon to steal up in that pool. And like I said, pool 1's just going to be grab that best Pokemon. Go from there. I don't think he's going to get punished much. Heatran can be pivoted to a lot of things. Offensive, utility, defensive. Whatever you want from it. You're going for it. Thunderous! Sharking, your pick, please. Volcarona! Okay, we were talking about Rain Corona as a joke on the podcast. Shout out to Rain Corona. But Volcarona, set up with the right team, can do a fair amount of sweeping. It can cause a lot of pain for those who are not ready to take it out. Obviously, you have that times 4 weakness to rocks, but something tells me he's looking for a defensive core in Pool 2, or even here where he's going to try and start it up to get Volcarona in at the right times. I mean, Firebug, not a bad dual stab for when you're going offensive, and Quiver Dance makes this thing a beast mixed with Fiery Dance if wanted. Fortnite, what do you want? It's okay, Ivan. No big deal, man. You only lost 1 ban. We were keeping you going the best that we could. Latias. Latias does have access to its Mega. Latias could be a very big pain for Pokemon players to take down if they don't have the right moves to take it down with. Once it's set up with a few calm minds, the thing can sweep through. Also, the Mega mixed with stored power and Cosmic Power can make it quite difficult to even threaten it. When this thing is not toxic, it is destructive. But also carries access to things like Defog, Roost, and such. Makes itself kind of difficult to take down. Todd, we are looking at Soto Dude. What is your pick? He is gonna pick up his namesake. Can't drop that one. We'll show you the teams in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Just gonna, you know. Actually, you can watch it by doing exclamation teams and watch it here. I have it off the screen, so you can't really see it. Dragonite. This Pokemon has fallen a tiny bit from grace. Not too much, though, as it can be both a defensive and offensive monster. Choice Band, Dragon Dance, you name it. You can even go the Glare Chance. Yes, Paralysis was nerfed, but Dragon Tail plus Multi-Scale is a pretty good combination if you want to get some of them Pokemon out of there and make sure you keep yourself safe and good to go. This thing can set up a lot. And I think it's a great pickup. Ice Cold and Ish, your pick, please. See, why do I even have a timer when you guys are good with this? Ferrothorn. There's the start of the defensive building for Initiator. Ferrothorn can be played quite well with a lot of Pokemon. It's kind of hard to really come up with this information on the spot. Most of you will be finding it leech seeding, setting up hazards. I think hazards could do quite a bit here if you end up finding that good sweeper combination in the end, maybe back in Pool 2, where there's going to be a lot of power no matter what, you're going to make this thing work. But Ferrothorn has always been a solid pick since its Gen 5 inception. Let's see what Anish can do with it. I am Groot. Diego, what is your pick? Suicune. I don't know if that's to get in the mind of a particular team here, but Suicune is going to be the first pickup. Now, we have seeing Suicune used well is super obnoxious because the Pokemon can stay super safe with Rest Talking while using Calm Mind and Scald. Get away with using a single attack. If there isn't Water Absorb, if there isn't anything to take it down and wall break it, this thing can take out an entire team. On top of that, we do know from the past, Sweet D's playstyle is to play defensive, not necessarily sweep and complete with hazards to just go through with it. He likes to play a lot of momentum. Suicune could be that defensive Pokemon that could start off his reign when it comes to his really, really safe defensive core. LA Golden Lucarios, your pick, please. It is going to be Scizor. I gave Scizor a lot of credit considering that Kartana would probably get banned or first picked or whatever. As I mentioned, has a great priority stab mixed with the ability of Technician. Scizor is just a great defensive Pokemon or huge offensive Pokemon with Swords Dance, even just by itself, that can do a lot of damage to a lot of teams that cannot stop the priority damage or just are not able to resist the priority damage. Plus, Scizor doesn't have to be run Mega. It can be run Choice Band. It can be run by itself with Life Orb. It can bring a few things. Also brings Defog utility to the team and really powerful U-turns. Golden State Greninjas, your pick, please. Venusaur. I expressed great discontent with Venusaur. The Pokemon is a big pain. I've always had problems killing off Mega Venusaur, but to be fair, Venusaur itself can be used greatly with Sun if there is going to be any kind of Sun pick up here. I think Ninetales is over in Pool 2, but if there's any type of manual setup with that, Life Orb, Chlorophyll, Venusaur are pretty good. On top of that, Stab, carries Sleep Powder. It's just a giant pain. I do expect that World Leader is most likely looking to make this the Mega for his team, potentially, because even by itself, giant defensive Pokemon that you want to have access to. Manchester Manectric, glad to see you, man. It is your pick. Let's go. Ivan, when you're ready, man. 40 seconds? I know he's here. Sometimes he has to be pinged, no big deal. Nidoqueen. Interesting pickup. Okay, Nidoqueen as the NU-RU poke is going to give him some pivot into the UU or PU pool. Nidoqueen can both set up hazards, but also just be a great offensive Pokemon with Sheer Force. It can do quite a bit of damage. We've seen both Nidoking and Nidoqueen do. Nidoking, obviously, because it's just better at its offensive stats than what Nidoqueen could do, but Nidoqueen has a lot of type variety and diversity that it can do with its moveset. I'm curious to see what Ivan wants to pull out, or what type of Pokemon he's going to pivot to with that Nidoqueen pickup. Now, Lunar Crystalias, you get 2 picks here because you're at the end. We're going to snake format. So, pick your first Pokemon. That Pokemon will affect the second Pokemon you can pick up. Let's hear your 2 drafts. Start with your first one, and then we're going to grab your second pick right after that. Keep in mind, after these second picks, we will re-randomize the order, give them a couple of minutes, and then go from there. And yes, make sure to try and ping me. Luckily, I saw it. Lucas says, that's Tyler Poke. All right, Tyler. I didn't start the timer. Of course I didn't. Why would I start the timer? Can I just do this? No, I cannot. Damn. Gligar and Tyrantrum. Gligar being the UU pickup that happens. Gligar is a very big pain when it has its Eviolite up. Good typing, which is going to keep it safe. Unfortunately, it doesn't get anything like its brother Gliscor, which can use Poison Heal, but Hyper Cutter, and like Hyper Cutter being able to use Defog with it, I think that's still a combination you have to go, but Immunity makes it so you can't Toxic Stall it, so it's not too bad. And then he's also going to pick up the Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum, a phenomenal wall breaker. We saw Mitchie use it pretty well last time, and that thing can put holes in teams' coverage for days, as well as just having access to Rock Head and Head Smash gives you an instant advantage when it comes to what you're looking for. When looking to break what we expect to be the defensive core meta coming out here. Alright, Manchester Manectric, you picked an NU-RU Pokemon, so you can pick up a PU or a UU Pokemon on your second rotation here. What will be your pick? You cannot pick up Kyurem Black anymore. Remember that we changed the rules. You can't go from NU-RU to OU. That was a change in the rules. Nonetheless, you still have 45 seconds. Although I do like the passion that you had for grabbing Kyurem Black. Stack-Attacka, we'll take that. Stack-Attacka. Its typing might not impress you very much, but its defensive capabilities on the defensive side anyways, in terms of physical defense, very, very good. Has access also to being very good with its very slow defense plus Gyro Ball. I think it can also go Heavy Slam in case you want that coverage, but it has the standard coverage you find on a rock type, rock fighting, and ground, or steel, whatever you want to use with it. It can set up Stealth Rocks. It can be a giant pain if you build around with having a good defensive core, which is Ivan's style, where he will take that super defensive, that super special defensive Pokemon, put it to good use. I think Stack-Attacka is going to be a nice upgrade here for the Manectrics. Golden State Greninjas, you picked OU, which means you're a PU Pokemon, please. Bibarel, he actually went there. Okay, Bibarel. Now, let's not completely discredit Bibarel. Bibarel has access to Simple, which doubles your stat gains and losses, which means that, you know, Bibarel does an okay job with using Curse, because it gets itself set up pretty well there. I think, does it get access to Swords Dance? I forget. But nonetheless, it does set itself up nicely. Also has access to other little cheeky moves like Aqua Jet, has access to, I think, Simple Beam. So if you really want to mess with people and get rid of certain abilities you don't like, there you go. Bibarel is going to be the scoop up, and I'm pretty sure he's just won the hearts of many. LA Golden Lucarios, your pick was Scizor. I need a PU Pokemon from you. Caracosta. I feel like this is a pick you took before Coma. But nonetheless, that just means you know how to use it, right? Uh-oh. Yo! Hello. I think I cut it. Here we go. Caracosta. Your PU Your PU, Shell Smasher. Its typing means that it's going to be good offensively. Not so great defensively. I believe it gets access to Solid Rock, though, which kind of helps it a little bit. Or it's a Shell Armor. Either one, it gets access to a good ability that can kind of stop it from getting crit or destroyed as hard. I'm pretty sure it's Solid Rock. But you can see this thing setting up Stealth Rocks. Most times you might just see it as a Shell Smasher that could do something. Obviously, it works a little bit better in the rain, considering that I think it does get Swift Swim, and its speed is not the most impressive. But a PU poke nonetheless. I am Groot. You picked up UU, so a NURU or PU Pokemon, please. Corsola is in the pool as another regenerator, yes. Gastrodon! Yeah, you see, Gastrodon is a very valuable Pokemon here in the PU pool. Even though it's PU, this thing gets used quite often in OU to counter rain teams. It's typing, the fact that it gets Storm Drain to basically give it one more immunity. Any Pokemon that can grab an extra immunity on itself is going to be phenomenal. And that's what you really want to see out of this, is Gastrodon just has a great typing, only weak to grass, takes away one more attack in water. It has both offensive, physically and specially capabilities, carries Skull, carries Recover. This Pokemon does really well, and it's always done really well in Pro Pokebowls. And to see Diego pick it up again, oh boy, he's already changing his name to I Am Busted. Ice Cold! You picked up OU. I need you to pick up your PU, and that's going to be Dusknoir. Alright, Dusknoir is your PU Assault Vester. This thing can do a lot of offensive attacks. Is fairly bulky. The only thing really holding it back is, one, its speed, but more so its HP. Comes with some good bulk, and you see it with Dusknoir where they use Eviolite, but most times Dusknoir is just going to be trying to go for a lot of punches, gets access to Priority and Shadow Sneak, gets good coverage with its moves, but it will be kind of that just bulky tanker that can kind of just knock off some Pokemon, get some damage in here and there. Todd Skyrim Howard, you picked Dragonite, which means you need a PU Pokemon, my friend. Lurantis. I like this pickup. It's actually one of the Show Me Your Moveset Pokemon that Gamma came up with. And Lurantis gets access to Contrary, which for itself is not the #1 compared to something like Superior or, you know, the almighty Spinda. But the thing that you want to do with Lurantis, you want to take a look at its access to Leaf Storm, which will give it +2 special attack. Also, in fact, its access to Superpower, which gives it +1 attack and defense. It also carries Defog, Knockoff, its Synthesis. It's got some ways to actually do some damage if it's able to stay alive and make good work of it. So that's what you're going to be looking for there. Fortnite, you picked up Latias. I need your PU poke, and it's going to be Quagsire. You can't pick up... Wait, Quagsire's down here? Quagsire's in PU? Oh my god, I missed that. Yeah. Quagsire, another bulky water type, which we said was going to be fairly good. Gets access to Unaware and also Water Absorb, so this thing can take on other water Pokemon. Again, another immunity to it. Only has weakness to Grass. But furthermore, I mean, Unaware makes it very difficult because it could Toxic Stall anything. It doesn't have Substitute or is not a Poison or Steel type or has immunity to Poison, because it could just ignore all of your stat changes and as a result just stay super tanky with its Recover Scald strats. Another great pickup here. That's just going to solidify a lot of offensive or a lot of defensive options here. Thundurus! You picked Volcarona. And you're going to pick up Kabutops. The cool thing about Kabutops, other than, again, another water rock fighter, as you can see all the water types being picked up here. The nice thing about Kabutops is if you get rain on your team, that's great. But the other cool thing is it's one of those Pokemon that can get away with manual rain if you set it up correctly. We've seen Rain Dance, 3 attacks, Life Orb with Swift Swim. Base 70 speed, also not something to scoff at. It's got enough speed to be kind of that middle tier sort of smasher, but also makes good use of its own stats, and it gets access to Liquidation, which can lower defense, Stone Edge, Knockoff. I think it also gets Rapid Spin. You got some options for it here, and I think it's a great pickup in PU. Sarasota Suicunes, you picked up Heatran. What is your PU pick? Mudsdale. Okay, Mudsdale could get pretty obnoxious if you can't take it out, especially defensively. Does get, I believe, it does get some good attack and defense stats. Also has access to stamina, which gives it defense every time it gets hit, no matter what, which means it can become a physical, bulky man on the side. But in the end, really, it comes down to what Mudsdale could do for you. It does get access to Earthquake and high horsepower, and I think it also is like a really heavy Pokemon to use Heavy Slam with, so Fairy types do get smashed. Alright, Miami Milotics, we've already started the timer. Let's see what's going on with this to see if Jillup's going to show up. Let's get a ping here for Jillup. If anybody knows Jillup, can we please get a ping? Let's see. We're still going to keep the timer going, though. Oh, I found him. I found him. He's here. However, not in time to answer in chat here to get a Pokemon, so let's see what he's going to randomize into. We should solve this issue, though. Alright, let's see. So you can pick between 1 or 2 there. What Pokemon is he going to be picking up? He is going to be picking up an... Oh, he's going to pick up a UU Pokemon. Okay, that's pretty good. What UU Pokemon is he getting? Number 13. Oh, he's going to get Darmanitan. Not bad. Alright, Darmanitan, very, very well-known fire type that likes to ram face, gets U-turn, gets Choice Scarf, Choice Band. This choice Pokemon is very good with Sheer Force, does a lot of damage. If left unchecked, this thing is a Wall Breaker Extravaganza type of Pokemon. You're going to want that for sure. And now mixing that with Machamp, I actually got a couple of great Wall Breakers, so not the worst thing in the world. I think that's a fairly solid pickup so far. Alright, re-randomizing the order. So now the way it'll work on this side, is they'll get their 3rd pick, then we will go back to reverse banning and then reverse drafting. So, the new order. You only get a couple of minutes for this, so make sure you get it going from there. Your new order. LA Golden Lucario's, Coma goes 1st, Golden State Greninja 2nd, I Am Groot 3rd, Ice Cold 4th, Luna's Cresselia 5th, Ivan in the middle, Todd Skybenhauer 7th, Fortnite on 8th, 9th will be Miami Milotic, Sarasota Suicune's bringing it up at the end with the Transverse City Thunderous. Take a moment here, and then we'll start going into picks again, and then Golden Lucario's will go for it. Now, nonetheless, but tell me to what's left over. Now that you've seen that they've pretty much taken a lot of power picks, they're going to want to try and do their best here to start building some kind of core, whether it's just picking up still good Pokemon or just trying to make things work for them. Oh, man, this is going to be tough. Okay, you're going to have to give me a second here because my hand is not very good. I need to reorganize this so I don't mess it up. Oh, that really hurts. All right. That timer is supposed to say 2 minutes. No big deal. Yep, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do this. We're going ambidextrous. Oh, yeah. Which is not very dexterous on my left, by the way. This is where times when your teachers tell you to be better in both hands. Yeah. No. Not in the cards for me. Alright, all debts reset. Here we go. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but Lopunny is picked up. We do have a reset here, so basically, Lopunny, very good Pokemon when it's given the right support to crush things. It could do it technically by itself, but most times you are just going to be... You are going to try and set up a little bit. It's got access to Fake Out. Also has access to things like High Jump Kick with Stab when it goes Mega. And looking at the team, he's already got Scissor on there, so he's maybe doing a little bit of switching here and there, or maybe trying to find something that could get banned week by week. But nonetheless, Lopunny is going to be gone. Golden State Greninjas. Your pick, please. You can already see it. The OU pool is kind of thinning out, but a lot of Pokemon that are left over, gonna have to be something you can make work. Xurkitree is still looking pretty good. Hawlucha, surprisingly, has not gone yet. And I thought this thing would be picked up a lot more, considering how much we hyped it up, thinking how strong it would be. But instead, we see the Empoleon pick up. Lots of water being picked up right now. Make sure that they get it on their team. Empoleon is a super solid UU Pokemon. Probably be there for the rest of its life. Water Steel typing, unique, and makes it quite bulky. Gives it some weaknesses, but also gives it a lot of resistances with that steel. With that steel typing. Defog, Stealth Rock, Knock Off, Scald. Can go offensive, but mostly will just be your super solid Penguin. I am Groot. Your pick, please. It is going to be Blissey. Now, we did talk about Blissey with some good support. Having a nice physically defensive Pokemon mixed with Blissey will be kind of the best bet that you want. Considering maybe looking at a lot of sweepers might be special defensive, that Blissey is going to get you more value than you could ever imagine. And on top of that, we're already looking at Sweet D's team. He's got like a good defensive core already. He just needs to find more of different types and just make it work. But Suicune and Blissey put together, that could be a super giant pain in the ass, considering Suicune usually runs physically defensive stats, while Blissey comes in to cover anything on the special if Calm Minds are not set up. Ice Cold moving up in the ranks here. Your pick, please. It is going to be Slowbro. So, Slowbro has fallen out of OU. It's Mega not getting as much attention, but don't sleep on Shell Armor Slowbro. Mega Slowbro can make this a very big pain. Again, another mono-attacking Pokemon that can get quite annoying, considering you cannot break through and crit it if it stays Mega, but also just a good regenerator Pokemon that can add on to your team, bring some offensive prowess with it, a lot of defensive prowess. Good typing, Water Psychic has always just been a good type in general combination, so, and we see a lot of good Pokemon coming out of that, and Anish is going to get his, is going to dip his toes into it. Ludocryselias. Tyler Poke, what is your pick? It is going to be Sylveon. We're firing these off. I like it. Sylveon, that fairy typing with Pixelate makes things like Hyper Voice hurt a lot. Also, now because sound-based attacks go through Substitute and other things like that, it's going to be doing a fair amount of damage. Although, not the #1 best because it doesn't get a lot of coverage. However, doesn't matter if nothing resists fairy or if the resists for fairy are getting slowly withered away. This thing can hurt and also offer you a little bit of wish support and heal bell. Manchester Manectric, bring it up in the middle here, my friend. What is your pick? Snowbirds had 50 worship for a long time. Here he goes. He's going back for the Kyurem Black. Oh, I could have made a Men in Black. Dang, I could have made a Back in Black joke. I didn't. Oh well. You know what's not a joke? Is this Pokemon, if it hits, on a super effective side. It doesn't actually get access to a really good physical ice move. Outrage from a base 180 attack. Choice Band of Kyurem Black, however, wrecks anything that isn't a fairy. So, you'll see this thing use a lot of non-stab attack, or it'll use stuff like Ice Beam. It gets access to Earth Power as well. It can go special and have kind of that mixed attacking thing. Assault Vest, whatever you want to do with this. It can offer a lot, and knowing and kind of looking at what Ivan is going with, kind of liking what he's picked up so far. Looks a little disjointed at the moment, but I think he's getting a lot of value out of what he might want to play around with here. Todd Skyrim. Soto, your pick, please. Oh, I guess Z free shot. I keep forgetting Z moves exist. Oh, well. I thought it was 180 attack. Either way. Didn't you mention you wanted Oricorio? I believe so. Hey, you know what? One of the bravest people to pick up 4 Pokemon in one. We call that Value Village. Because he does get access to all 4 Oricorios, considering that they're all PU. But the typing itself, Revelation Dance, its ability is kind of really, or sorry, not its attack is Revelation Dance. Its ability Dancer is kind of interesting. If you think about how it could do against something like Volcarona, Swords Dance, Scizor, anything that's using a dance attack, it copies. And if it copies something that gives it speed, the thing can kind of sweep. Mainly Quiver Dance though, and depending on what type you've chosen, could be pretty good. He can choose the Electric Oricorio, considering, like we said, a lot of electric types are not being found or picked up in the tournament just yet. And there's also a lot of water ground types so far, so you might find something of a ghost or a psychic type being used here to kind of manage things. Fortnite! Mr. Mitch, your pick, please. Gengar! Gengar has fallen from grace, unfortunately losing Levitate and being traded up for... what's it called? Being traded up for Cursed Body. However, no access to Mega either, but still a very good Pokemon. Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, whatever you want to run this thing with. Just all-out attacker with D-Bond. The thing has fantastic Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave damage, carries things like Thunderbolts. I think it still gets Giga Drain. Did it get Mega Drain? Did it get Giga Drain? I don't remember. The thing could do a lot. And just having a Ghost type in general also makes certain moves already difficult to use against it. And paired well, you don't have to worry about things like Earthquake, so. Gengar's just always going to be a good Pokemon. Has always been since the very beginning. Jillip, my friend. Choose any Pokemon from anywhere. Please, it is your turn to pick. For the Miami Milotics. The Weavile. Comes in and picks up a good... now, this Pokemon can set up a lot of kills. It could be a fantastic revenge killer, considering that it has an enormous 125 speed, has access also to Ice Shard to counter other priority, but more so just between Icicle Crash that it gets, low kick, knockoff. This Pokemon is very good at finishing off any Pokemon that's low and cannot outspeed. Play around it. Between Darmanitan and Weavile, this combination can already do a lot of damage while breaking into maybe revenge killing if needed. Sarasota Suicunes, your pick before we get into the second bands, please. Setting him on Blastoise, even though Blastoise does not get to use any of those cannons. Thanks, Game Freak. But Blastoise will be the pickup for the Sarasota Suicunes. Can't have Suicunes, so he's going to pick up another fat water type. Now, unfortunately, what the heck? What tier is UN? It's World Peace tier. Blastoise as a Mega. We found it a bit underwhelming to grab for the NU-RU tier. It's not the worst, though. It is a good Rapid Spinner. Has some good defense to it. Access to Scald and Rapid Spin. Also, as a Mega, it's got access to things like Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse, Water Pulse. Not the worst. It's kind of feels underwhelming compared to the other water types we've seen picked up. But if you're looking to stop any types of hazards, Blastoise can do that. All right, Thundurus. Here we go. So, you will give me your third pick, and then you will give me your second ban. So you're going to give me a pick of anything and a PU ban, please. Alolan Ninetales. Let me give it here, and I'll give you a minute here to get your ban up. Alolan Ninetales. Gamma loves this Pokemon. I fear this Pokemon. Self-setting Hail, which can add a lot of damage to that Pokemon that anything but Ice type is going to get pelted by, but also just access to Aurora Veil. With Light Clay gives you 8 turns of half damage from Reflect and Light Screen. It's a very good Pokemon. Ice Fairy also on the offensive side, mixed with, I believe, 109 speed or something of the sort. Access to Blizzard, which is going to happen all the time when it comes to having Hail up. This Pokemon's a steal, in my opinion. That was not a ban. Now he is banning. Sharking, what is your ban? It has to be a PU ban. Turtonator? Why do you hate on young Turt, though? That's mean. That's just mean. Turtonator does get Shell Trap, which can snap back against physical attacks. Don't clap the Turt. But, yeah, we've seen it used. Sweet D used it a little bit as a troll, but Fire Dragon typing, it's just the fact that it's slow. I believe it gets access to Draco and Fire Blast or something like that, but overall, it can be threatening if you don't have something to take the hits, I guess, or kill it off quickly. But, you know, it's just something to ban. Sarasota Suicunes, your PU ban, please. And this is when you see the PU tier just shrink. Quillfish! I actually like the position of Quillfish. I think Water Poison can be a good defensive typing if paired up well with certain things. But also, Quillfish is one of those PU Pokemon that gets access to a lot of utility moves. Gets access to Spikes and Toxic Spikes, has Intimidate, Explosion to kind of just get that free switch, Thunder Wave. It could also go Choice Bandit or just offensive if it wanted to with Swift Swim. But it's a fairly annoying Pokemon. It also gets D-Bond. So it can be a bit unpredictable if paired up with other Pokemon, but we're not going to be able to see it, so that's unfortunate. Jillip, so you got randomized into an NU-RU ban, so I need you to ban a PU or a UU Pokemon, please. Really? We see Oranguru banned now. If I recall correctly, I don't think Oranguru actually gets an ability it can use. It could be a bit obnoxious with its, I think it's, is it normal psychic? I can't remember. I don't really know much about Oranguru. I think I've seen a calm mindset once. Doesn't do a lot, but I mean, at the same time, if it's gonna destroy you, why not? Fortnite, your PU ban, please. I guess because blowfish and you get paralyzed if you get stung. That's okay, you'll know for next time. Stun Tank. Stun Tank can actually be a threat. Its dark poison typing can be good for finishing off Pokemon that can't resist it. Furthermore, it gets access to Sucker Punch, still Explosion, but it can even go with stuff like Flamethrower, so it can go on the special side and kind of hit you with some different coverage. Similar to what you'd see from Weezing, except Weezing has better defensive typing. So, I do like the Stun Tank ban, especially if it's going to be threatening any of your Pokemon. Stun Tank actually, for Latias, would be kind of a big pain, and for Gengar as well. So I think it's a very tactical ban here. Todd Skyrim Howard, Mr. Soto Dude, you must ban and PU Pokemon, please. Tangela! Oh, man. So we already said there's a bunch of Regenerator pokes in here. Tangela being one of those annoying ones, of course, with the dawn of knockoff being everywhere and useful. Tangela with its Eviolite, not number 1, but on the defensive side, still a giant beast, whether it has knockoff on it or not. But again, similar to when Tangrowth was banned, Sleep Powder, it does everything just a little bit worse than Tangrowth. This can still be quite a pain, especially if picked up for good value as a PU pick. Manchester Manetric, we are looking for your NU, RU, UU, or OU ban, please. It's okay, Soto. Hawlucha, yeah. You see, I don't know, it got through, and I don't know if it would have actually mattered if Hawlucha would have done much, but as being just being a really strong Pokemon, yes, it works number 1 with setting up with the seeds in terrain. I still think it's a great unburned poke that can revenge kill or just sweep an entire team if it's set up. Maybe there's going to be a lot of things stopping hazards, though, which means that Hawlucha might have to get a little bit more work done from its team or itself. So maybe it just was going to find its way in, but nonetheless, it's not in now, so there's no reason for us to think about it. Little Cresselia, Tyler Poke, your NU, RU, or PU ban, please. Sneasel. Interesting. Believe it or not, Sneasel is... it's worse than Weavile, but can still be a pain to deal with, considering I believe it just gets the exact same thing. Almost, again, similar to... what's it called? Similar to Tangela with Tangrowth. Does the same things, just has weaker stats. But it's a great cleanup poke. I believe it sports 95 speed, too. So as an NU poke, picking up 95 speed, which gets Icicle Crash, or even... does it get Icicle Crash? It might not. Either way, though, it gets its dual stab. It becomes quite painful. Get rid of that thing. Cresselia definitely does not want to fight. Oh, no, it's got Moonblast. What am I saying? Either way. Ice Cold. Your PU ban. Is it actually 115 speed? Oh my god. I thought it was slower than that. Huh. Astounding. Golurk is gone. Now, Golurk, not number 1. But No Guard is a thing. And if I recall... It gets stuff like Drain Punch. It also has Iron Fist, which can be quite painful between Shadow Punch and Drain Punch. So it can do a fair amount of damage if set up well, and most likely it's not going to get set up well, but as an Assault Vest poke, or even just Life Orb just doing damage here and there, being a wall breaker, it can do it. Not number 1, but that's why it's in PU, and we're not going to see it from Initia's side. I am Groot. Your PU or UU ban, please. Crocodile's gone. Oh, man, we don't get to see the power of Crook. Crocodile between Moxie or Intimidate, no matter what you're doing with it. Crocodile is just another one of those, like, always loved it as a Choice Scarf user type Pokemon. But, Crocodile. Great stat, great dual stat for offense. Brings a lot of sweeping potential if it's just outspeeding everything or cleaning stuff up. Just have to go with that. No big deal. Golden State Greninjas, your PU ban, please. I'll tell you this right now. This is the slowest part of the Pro Pokeball. The next 13 weeks are going to be speedy. They'd be great. As you can also tell, new music on the Pro Pokeball. I have updated the music playlist. So you're getting a lot more different songs, a lot more up-to-date songs, and one song that is not yet released. World Leader, your ban. Your PU ban. Rotom Frost is gone. Rotom Frost, one of the weakest ones. At least it's not Rotom Fan. Ha ha ha. But Rotom Frost, actually it's Rotom Spin technically, but whatever. Rotom Frost has to use Blizzard. I mean, funny thing is, it gets the best offensive pairing of Electric and Ice. It just sucks because it doesn't get Ice Beam. Or if it did, it still has to use Blizzard. So the fact you have to rely on Blizzard does kill it quite a bit in terms of viability. Plus, its typing is Ice, so it's weak to Fire and Fighting, which is very popular, and gets it smashed quite a bit because it doesn't have a lot of big stats. Its speed's not the greatest. But hey, if your team can't handle it, you're in trouble, right? Just saying. Alright, LA Golden Lucarios, you lead us off here with the final ban, and then we're going into the last 3 picks, going back to the bottom of the snake. Your PU ban, please. A better version of Game Corner? I don't remember. Abomasnow. Funnily enough, this thing actually I think got moved up, but when we drafted this at the time, it was left... Oops. I don't know what that is. Excuse me. I believe it moved up. I can't remember, but nonetheless, it was PU when we drafted this. So, Abomasnow. Grass Ice has its own Hail again, so it can use Blizzard. Great on both sides of offense, both physical and special. I do like seeing this Pokemon used, but we're not going to see it. Plus, there's a lot of Megas already picked up, so I don't expect it to be #1 on the list here. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. Transfer City Thunderous, you drafted Ninetales Alola. You need a PU pick, please. I scanned through a lot of the music, but I'll have to check again with what's going on. Dodrio! Hey, Dodrio got a buff in Jet Set. I learned Jump Kick. I'm not going to sleep on this bird. It's fast. It can hurt. It can do stuff. It has Jump Kick. What more can you really want from a PU poke other than a 3-headed monster? It's not really much to say about that. Sarasota Suicunes, your PU or UU pick, please. Oh, it does get Swords Dance, you're right. So, oh my goodness. Now, I feel like I want to say this is a trap. I don't think Gamer was expected to get Celatran, but he is now the next benefactor of this horrendous core, and now Amagama is gonna have to never be on my podcast again, because I believe there was some deal made with that where if this happened again, yeah, he said he would never come back. So, rip Amagama. Bible Thumb 7 for Amagama. It was great doing the first 2 episodes of podcasting with you. And, yeah, just to go over, Celebi, good Pokemon, good offensive typing, Heal Bell, momentum. It does a lot of things. Base 100 stats across the board. Not weak. Does its thing. Weak to bug. Who cares? Miami Milotics, Jillip, your PU poke, please. Also a very good defensive core there for Sarasota Suicunes to maybe work off of. Julep, your pick, please. You must pick a PU Pokemon. You only got 13 seconds left to go. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Let's go, let's go. Pick a Pokemon, pick a Pokemon. PU Poke, PU Poke, PU Poke. Cryogonal! What a great panic pick that he did there. I actually very much like Cryogonal, unironically. I think it's a good enough special defensive Pokemon that's not meant to take special defense hits in bulk anyways. Access to Freeze Dry, having screens, recover Rapid Spin. It does everything just very poorly because it's Ice type, but still does well. Its attack, its speed, and its special defense special attack, speed, and special defense are good. So it's not atrocious. It's just there are better. But if you're looking for a Pokemon that's a jack of all trades, why the hell not take it, right? Fortnite Ninjas. You picked Gengar, a PU or NU RU pick, please. Look at that, even access to Levitate has an immunity. Look at you go. Virizion. Okay, so Virizion, with not a lot of flying types there, I gotta check how many flying types have been picked up, but anything that has a flying type attack will threaten Virizion quite a bit. But this is another Pokemon that can go and attack on both ends, but also can get out of hand with, like, I've always liked grass fighting typing, despite the fact that it's times 4 weak to flying. But if there's nothing that's going to be using flying type attacks well, or just is going to be super predictable and can be destroyed beforehand, Virizion can do a fair amount. Gets bulky with Calm Mind, Swords Dance, kind of similar to, like, it's almost the, what's the more middle one? I think Virizion is the most middle in terms of how it can attack on both ends, whereas Terrakion and Cobalion are both more physical. But then again, Virizion's dual typing is better from the special side. Nonetheless, Virizion, a great pickup here. Soto Dude, your pick from NU, RU, UU, or OU, please. Then we're going to re-randomize one more time. It is going to be... Oh! Thank God for the brace. Excuse me. Xurkitree. I was really hoping Ultra Beast would make it into this, and it did, and I'm super stoked. Xurkitree has... Xurkitree has unfortunate speed, but great special attack. Its coverage, I think, also... I can't quite remember what its coverage looks like, but it's just... The fact that it gets to consistently buff its special attack up while just putting a lot of pressure down could be good. Plus, again, not a lot of electro types that are going to be scooped up here by teams. So having one of those few electro types could be good. It could actually help out quite a bit. And that's what we're going to end up seeing. Glad to see it. We'll see how well you can put it to good use. Manchester Manetric, you picked up Kieran Black. I need a PU poke from you, please. Could also be... Well, let's see. Does he have anything for a Trick Room so far? Lurantis could be part of Trick Room. Even technically, like, just bulky Dragonite could do it. She's not the best at it. There's better. Roselia. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now, Roselia is one of those really weak Pokemon without its... what am I calling it? Oh my goodness. Eviolite. I think it gets base 100 special defense, though, or something stupid like that. It gets base 100 in something as just a Roselia. Spikes and Toxic Spikes. Sleep Powder. Still has access to Dual Stab. It's good. It's an interesting Pokemon to pick up. Might just be something that you saw was the best of PU, but with its Eviolite, could take a hit or two. Could be a bit of a pain to set up with the hazards with. And because of that change, I believe, was it in Gen 7 where they changed it? You could finally run Sleep Powder and Spikes together? There was some complex move ban that it couldn't do before. Lunar Cresselias. Tyler Poke, you picked up a UU Poke, which means you need a PU or NU RU, please. It's Gen 6? Okay. Araquanid is banned, so try again. Luckily, you have a minute, not one chance. Can you imagine if someone just says the wrong Pokemon? Like, nope, you lose that Pokemon. Only have 11 on your team now. Plus bans. You only have 10 left. By the way, it was great to see old names like Glennis, Doodle Humper, all these great people. Seismitoad, I like it. Another water ground Pokemon picked up. The thing that I like the best about Seismitoad is the fact that it can also be a manual range setup sweeper. Good on both sides physically and even defensively. Like, it's just a good Pokemon. I think it's, what's its lowest stat? HP? Something like that. But can do a lot. It's a very average Pokemon that has access to rocks, has access to sweeping, physical and special, mix it up. It's almost, you know, it's, even gets access to Water Absorb. It's kind of like a Gastrodon in a sense where it can pretty much do the same thing. It might just be slightly more used, but I don't know. Well, the only thing Gastrodon gets over is recovery, like self-recovery. So I guess you're kind of taking the more offensive version of Gastrodon because it can put use to speed and Rain Dance, whereas Gastrodon, you're picking up for more of that utility kind of heal off everything. Nonetheless, Ice Cold, your NU, RU, or PU pick, please. HP is 105? Is it slowest speed? Wow. That says something about the strength of, or just the overall nature of Seismitoad. Mesprit. Unfortunately, Mesprit was shoved up to NU, RU because Gam and I both thought that it was kind of a weird thing to, in the Pro Pokeball, one of those ones that, in my opinion, are not worth its tiering. But the reason why I got shoved up is it has decent speed, right? Very good choice Scarfer. Gets good coverage between Psyshock, Psychic, or Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt. Could do some good coverage damage here and there. Kind of be a good revenge killer of sorts. Also access to U-Turn and Stealth Rocks. So, offensive do 'em all. I am Groot. Your PU or NU RU, please. It's just going to be Honchkrow. Now, if you're trying to get rid of a Sucker Puncher and didn't have the opportunity to get rid of it, Honchkrow with Moxie. Very, very strong. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Boop. Nope, no. Okay, hold on. Oh, no, do that again. Ha! Paste. There we go. Honchkrow's a very good Pokemon to sweep with. Again, one of those few flying types that we needed to worry about. That's also going to be good. I'm just imagining Virizion that was picked up for it. But, when it gets going, it gets going. Choice Band could do it well, Choice Scarf, but even then, it could also build up Moxie simply by having a Sucker Punch skill come in and then being able to threaten with Brave Bird on the side. It's a good Pokemon. Also, does it get U-Turn? I can't remember. I know it gets Defog, but I haven't seen a Honchkrow in quite a long time, but I think it also gets Superpower if it wanted to. It does a lot of good things. We'll have to see what happened here. Let me just fix something up really quickly. Boop. Alright. Golden State Greninja's World Leader. Your PU or NU RU pick, please. Just as another reminder, if you guys are starting to look at the teams and wondering, like, oh, why does Noob keep hitting his finger? But also, hey, do I want to predict who's going to win the Pro Pokeball overall? Make sure you head over to the Pro Pokeball Fantasy League paper, fill it out. It takes like 3 minutes or something like that, and then you have a chance to win a Steam gift card at the end of the season. Pretty simple. Flygon. Flygon is a very, very average Pokemon in terms of its stats. Carries quite a bit of offensive pressure between its ground and dragon typing. Yes, it is super weak to ice. What dragon doesn't suffer with that? Don't answer that. There's a few of them. But we've always seen Flygon be one of those, again, another one of those great choice scarf users, or just choice users in general. Can attack on both ends. I've always liked, it's got Levitate as well, so it's got an immunity. Very solid pickup, in my opinion, for the RU value. Last but not least, Golden Lucario's Coma. A PU pick. Is going to be Stoutland. Ooh. Now, Stoutland's generally better when it comes with Sand because of Sand Rush. But it's actually, it's one of those Pokemon I like when it gets used with Retaliate. It's actually one of those weird ones that's like, yeah, it doesn't have a, it can carry a lot. It gets the Fangs. It gets access to very strong return. But also Retaliate with Choice Band could do a fair amount because the dog is not completely fragile. If it does get hit super effectively with a fighting move, it could do some good stuff. So, curious to see what's going to happen with that. repeat. Oh, repeat. There we go. Go again. Go back up to there. All right, Stoutland's going to round that out. All right, let's get one more randomization here. It also has Scrappy. You are correct. That's why I like it as that Retaliate user, because it could do a fair amount with it. All right, one more re-randomization, and then we get into the final picking through this draft. No more bans, so at this point it comes down to what Pokemon you're going to be able to scoop up. Who's getting that first pick to round off this pool? The answer is, hey! Complain and you shall receive, apparently. Take a look at this. Ice Cold is going to be the first pick at the end of this, followed by the Manchester Manetrix, followed by Lunar Cresselias. Fourth pick up here is going to be Sarasota Suicunes. Todd Skyrim Howard is fifth. Groot holds the middle. TC Thunderous on seventh. Ninjas on 8th. Golden State Ninjas 9th. Miami Milotics in 10th. And LA Golden Lucario is going from the top pick to that rounding off double pick. Take a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the final pickups going here. In the meantime, I'm going to try and move these teams around the best that I can. Alright, so it's Ice Cold, Manchester Manetrix, Lunar Cresselias. Wait, what? I can't see. Hooray. CC Thunderous. Where's this guy? Right here. Oh, hey, placed itself. Beautiful. Okay. Here we go. Nish already knows what he wants. He's just going to scoop up Crawdaunt. We like seeing Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt was Project's prodigy when he tried to use it in his Trick Room team of sorts. It's like, it gets access to Dragon Dance, but as an adaptability user with dual typing and having both Waterfall and Knockoff, it does a lot of damage with getting the ×2 stab rather than 1.5. And yes, it's slow, yes, it gets destroyed by fighting types and other attacks that kind of one-shot it, but used correctly, this thing can wall break beyond all imaginations. It can also revenge kill with Aqua Jets from the choice banning position. Manchester Manetric. Let's go, your second last pick of this pool. Togekiss, there is that patent safe and reliable defensive core that we like to see coming out of Ivan. We've seen a lot of defensive Pokemon being picked up in this first pool. Granted, I mean, if there's just a bunch of defensive Pokemon in this pool, why not pick them up first? I think every coach has been kind of drafting fairly wisely here, just grabbing a core that's going to help them to try and find a good offensive Pokemon that they know they can most likely scoop up, whether it's their first pick, their last pick in Pool 2, because Pool 2 is just going to offer you a lot. Togekiss, Fairy Flying type, phenomenal special. Actually, its defense and special defense are pretty good. Can go offensive if wanted to, has Encore support. And of course, Serene Grace. Still, unfortunately, Para-Hacks was nerfed, but 60% chance to flinch. Still pretty good with 95 speed. So, also having access to both Body Slam with Serene Grace with 60% chance to paralyze, and just having Thunder Wave, which is 90% chance accurate attack, helps quite a bit with crippling a lot of Pokemon. Tyler Poke, your pick, please. Pools are getting thin, but people are still finding the value they want. This is impossible. You can't just pick up Manetric when we have a Manchester Manetric. Wait, what the hell? Yeah, what? Weird. Is it Cresselia in here somewhere? Maybe Pool 2. Manetric. That other electric type that we saw in this pool, 1 of 5 or 6 or whatever, but Manetric is just super fast. Base 135 speed as a Mega, gets access to Intimidate, Overheat, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, HP Ice, Flamethrower if it wants. Good coverage, and just will be one of your fastest Pokemon to do checks with Volt Switch, really. It's going to be doing a lot for you, and if your team needs the speed, it's now got it. And looking at Lunar Cresselia's team, yeah, it needed the speed. That's going to be his pivot right there. Sarasota Suicunes, your ban, please. Or, sorry, your pick. Not your ban. Get out of here. Oh, okay. Okay. Can't pick up one on Bird and Poke, so we pick up a little cream puff that is here to murder. This is murder. This is murder face to me. Slurpuff gets kind of stuck with the moveset syndrome, where it doesn't get a lot of great coverage, and if it could use more than 4 moves, it would. So it's kind of like bad on both ends in terms of that. However, Slurpuff with Belly Drum on Burden, well known for being able to clean up any teams that doesn't resist Play Rough plus Return, and yeah, it could do a fair amount if you don't have it checked, but if it is checked, you do see it fall flat on its face. I do expect that the Suikas are going to try and find that way to pivot in. Having good defensive core starts, but we're looking for a little bit more. Maybe we're going to be finding a lot of momentum that he could try and build up in the second pool to get that Slurpuff into a comfortable position to be able to be used. But nonetheless, doesn't want other people using it against him. Might as well take the dessert. Todd, Soto, your pick, please. Chandelure, that was fast. We did look at Chandelure as kind of like, it's not Gengar, but Chandelure could do a good job as well. Access to Flash Fire, having an immunity, but also Infiltrator, which gives you good chances against any Pokemon that's going to be trying to stall behind a sub, or try to stall behind screens, and seeing things like Alola, Ninetales, Coralgan, all these types of things, you want to bust right through those screens and start doing damage. Chandelure is a very good Pokemon that gets access to Tricks. Choice Scarf and Choice Specs could do a lot of damage with its 80 speed getting improved, or its 145 special attack, destroying you with Dual Stab. Or, you know, Pain Split and Will-O-Wisp exist on it as well. Why? Because it's a Chandelier. It's going to be able to do that. Chandelure is the pick for Todd Skyrim Howard. Alright, Sweet D, you're in the middle. What are you picking up? Is this going to be Hippowdon? Alright, so another weather user being picked up here. Sand, of course, buffing up the special defense of rock types, but also just getting that chip damage. And taking a look at the team that Sweet Tea has has built so far, not a lot. Like, there's everything kind of is okay with getting hit with sand, so getting that little bit of chip damage off while setting up or just stalling out can be nice if there's no left, or even just negating leftovers will be good. And Hippowdon is just a great defensive poke. We're already seeing what Iron Groot usually does with building its solid core. So, Sharking, your pick, please. What's up, Coma? Yeah, Sharking, your pick. Yes, but UUBL moves it up to OU. Yeah. Well, no matter what, he moves it up, because if it's UUBL, then it's an OU Pokemon, so that's why it's in there. We see a Starmie pickup. I peg Starmie as one of my Pokemon to watch for, because, again, very solid at what it does. Has access to Analytic as well as Natural Cure, so it can't be status and punished if there's still a team to switch with, as well as Analytic. If it's moving slower, it can still do a lot of extra damage if required. Water Psychic, I still like that as an offensive typing. Base 115 speed, I think it's like 110 special attack or something of the sort, or the other way around, whichever way it is. Nonetheless, it makes good use of it, has access to Rapid Spin, but more so, you know, between Psyshock, Scald, or Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, the thing gives you the coverage you need, and it's a very, very good pickup. Fortnite Ninjas, your pick. It's just going to be Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat. Where is that thing? Rotom Heat. Why Rotom Heat? Why not? Keeps everything warm. Overheat plus Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. Its typing is unique in a sense where you're not... There's a lot of things that if you want to worry about its dual stab, it gets a little scary. Will-O-Wisp is also very good on it, obviously. It has access to Levitate, so it loses one giant weakness in ground that it would have had otherwise. So as long as it has Levitate up, it's going to be good just to have to watch for things like water or rock moves. But, I mean, you threaten to do a lot of damage with this thing, and speed still makes it good enough to be a Volt Switcher that you can rely on. I think most times you see Overheat with Pain Split or Will-O-Wisp or something like that, and it's just good at taking on physical pokes. Just crippling them from there. Golden State Greninja is your pick. Yeah, but Volcarona is not a fire-electric type. Also, by the way, Initiator, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Coma. I appreciate that. Pelipper! Taking from his big friend Dagger and says, I can make the Rain team work, or at least make Pelipper work. Interesting. Grabs... Wait a minute, you grabbed Venusaur, but... You banned Swampert, but grabbed Venusaur and Pelipper. Okay, anyways. Golden Sacred Ninjas want to use Pelipper. Pelipper's just a good physically defensive Pokemon. You usually see this thing being paired up with something like Steelix. That was a very old core that used to run back in the day before Pelipper got Drizzle. But because you have Drizzle now, Drizzle just means that you're going to always hit those Hurricanes that you have. You have Defog access. You have Stab Scald plus the Rain boost. The thing hurts and it's got Roost. It can sit out there and stall for quite some time, so... Do a fair amount. He can't pick up Manaphy, unfortunately, with it, but... We're going to see Pelipper picked up with the Swampert gone. Does he have any other Water Sweepers? He might be looking for one, so... Keep your eye out on that. Miami Milotics. Jillip, your pick, please. Just kidding. Manaphy's going to be scooped already. OU is officially polished off. Manaphy gets most of his strength from being able to use Tail Glow, but also having access to Rain helps it quite a bit, but it doesn't have to. Tail Glow or Manual Rain Dance with some kind of recovery in terms of maybe using Hydration with Rest can make it fairly obnoxious to fight. Manaphy is a very solid Pokemon. I don't see it being the strongest, potentially, unless you have something working with it, but... yeah. We'll see what he's able to do with it. And Golden Lucarios are going to finish off the draft of Pool 1 with Meloetta and Snorlax. So Meloetta was actually a Pokemon I pointed out in the podcast, and Snorlax was a Pokemon that Gamma pointed out in the podcast. Let's talk about these really quickly. Meloetta being a fantastic normal Psychic type, which means Ghosts be gone, but also very good speed, very good special attack, has the option of going Pirouette form if needed, but can bring dual stab and do a lot of damage and just outspeed a lot of things with 109 speed. On top of that, Snorlax being a bulky Pokemon that can be that Curslax set. It could just be that straight Choice Band set. Actually gets some weird coverage with Crunch, Fire Punch, Earthquake, Return, Body Slam. You could do the Gluttony, Recycle strats. There's a few things you can actually end up doing with that, so... But yeah. That's going to be finishing off Pool 1 for the LA Golden Lucarios. Miami Milotics. Your final pick, which will be a PU Pokemon. What are you taking for the end of Pool 1? Baby Ferroseed! Oh my god, Ferroseed makes his way into the tournament. Has grown in the ground and is now ready to be used. Now, Ferroseed does not run like its big brother Ferrothorn. It has to use Eviolite, but on top of that, also doesn't get as much value out of the same moveset. Spike's Leech Seed still helps. It's just, the thing about Ferroseed is, you'd rather just have the Ferrothorn that could do a lot more damage. You're using more, like, you're going to notice, even though it's kind of the same, but it just doesn't feel the same. You know, it's not like a Tangela where it still feels good. But Ferroseed, used well, will be able to wall a bunch of things. Maybe offer some more of that hazard setup that we're looking for here for that team, which at the moment Jillip did need, so there you go. Golden State Granite is your PU pick, please. Oh well, never mind. He is pulling a dagger. The legacy of Season 3 Dagger lives on here. As Ludicolo is scooped up. I don't think we really need to explain that one. I really don't think we need to explain the Ludicolo. Because, you know, Rain Dance, Manual Rain setup, or, you know, just Pelipper. You can pretty much see where that one's going. And we have seen, actually, Golden State Greninja's World Leader did run a Sand team back the last time he played, so this does feel close to the weather play that World Leader does like having. And now we get to see what he does with Rain, arguably a more competitive weather. Fortnite! You need your RU or RUNU or PU pick, please. Fortress. Actually, we're going to call last night talking about Fortress. Fortress has every single type of hazard that you need set up. Still does good damage with its Gyro Ball. And on top of it, actually gets access to Volt Switch, so it does have a bit of that momentum switching that can help you out a smidge. But Fortress will add nicely to the defensive core here that maybe we're looking for. But also, again, if you get things set up, Gengar, Virizion can benefit from this like Rotom Heat, if you think about it. If you got things that don't want to take the hits from but have to keep switching out in these hazards, you get a lot of momentum going with that. So Fortnite Ninjas build themselves a good core here in Pool 1. Thunderous, your PUNU or RU pick is Serena. Ooh. Serena, the queen of giving you the middle finger when you want to use priority. Queenly Majesty, showing its worth in the Season 4 finals. And I believe semifinals. I can't remember. We saw Queenly Majesty get some good value. But Serena gets access to some interesting moves. It gets high jump kick as a normal grass type. It gets access to high jump kick. I believe it gets rapid spin, trop kick, which can lower attack and kind of help you stall, but also gives you grass stab. Does get power whip, though, if you want that knockoff. Serena does a lot, and I'm liking the scoop up here before the rest get their hands on it. I am Groot. Your pick is going to be Tauros. Now, don't be fooled. Tauros could do something. It gets access to Sheer Force, which means things like Rock Climb get a lot of value, considering that you lose the confusion chance, but it still gets a lot of extra damage. It is fast. Yes, it's a pure normal type, but it could do a fair amount between Earthquake and using Rock Climb. I think it gets Stone Edge as well, Rock Slide. So you are getting a lot of things that are getting value off of its ability to use Sheer Force. So, good pickup here for I Am Groot. Todd Skyrim Howard Soto Dude. Your PU or NURU pick, please. And Body Slam. I forgot about Body Slam. I actually forgot about Body Slam. Hoopa. Now, this is the confined form. Can't use Hoopa Unbound, but Hoopa to me sounds like that Trick Roomer we were thinking about with Xurkitree or something of the sort. Chandelure can also be a good Trick Roomer. This might be the build of a Trick Room team, really, now that I look at it. Give support to the Lorantis, but basically Hoopa, yep, also super weak to Bug. However, like, I've never really seen a good Hoopa used, so I can't really comment. All I know is it can use Trick Room, and it can do damage on the special side. It's not like Hoopa Unbound where it can attack on both ends. I believe Hoopa is better on its special side, if I recall. We'll have to see how it gets used, if it gets used. Suicunes! Your PU or UU pick, please. Let's see what Gamer wants to finish this off with. So let's see. So he's got, like, so far he's got Celatran. I think that's all he really wanted to come out of this pool with. He got it. He's also going to pick up Tornadus here. Tornadus, not Therian, but still has access to Prankster. With Taunt, can be quite obnoxious. Also, a Pokemon that is very well known for not running any items, so it can make use of Acrobatics. I like it. It's pure flying type as well, so it doesn't have to worry about fighting types hitting it from neutral. It will resist fighting attacks and has access to things like Hurricane. It can make good use of it. Bulk up. Gets bulk up and work up. Or does it get nasty play? No, it doesn't get nasty play, but it does get access to bulk up, which means that the acrobatic set can be good. But overall, make good use of Prankster. I like it. Lunar Cresselias. PU or NURU pick, Ivan. What are you going for? What? You're Ivan now. Didn't you know that? I'm pretty sure you knew that. Thank you, Tyler, formerly known as Ivan. Miltank will be the scoop. Miltank Stealth Rocker. This thing can be annoying because it gets access to Sap Sipper. but it's also fatter than you give it credit for. And has good speed. It's actually a base 100 speed rock setter, so, you know, Body Slam plus rocks, plus Stealth Rock has good use, and plus if you get any of those Sap Sippers off, you can do a little bit of damage with your stab move, but you got Milk Drink, so it can self-recover, it gets Heal Belt. Pretty good utility Pokemon, if you ask me. Can get walled by a few things, but used correctly, you can keep some hazards up and start putting down a tiny bit of pressure, even if you just get Paras off. Manchester Masters, hey, Ivan, now it's your turn. The Ivan that's actually Ivan. PU or NURU? There you go, Arcanine. Well, we wanted defensive core from Ivan, and we freaking found it. Intimidator, Will-O-Wisp Extraordinaire. This thing went from... I remember when this thing used to just run offensively. It's like, you know what? What about this Morning Sun Will-O-Wisp set that runs with... Intimidate? You're sitting there going, nah, and then, yeah, now it's what you find all the time. It's very good. The fact that it can do all of that crippling plus carry Flare Blitz to get away with it to do damage with its good attack stat or special stat, whichever one you want to work with, it's a good pickup. And looking at his team, he definitely is looking for that defensive core to feel safe with. And I think he's done it, so yeah. Alright, last but not least, Mr. Ice Cold, Mr. Initiator. The very last pick of Pool 1, what will you be scooping up? It's a PU or an NURU poke. Still pretty good choices here. I have an idea of what he might want, but we'll see. As the timer is not started. I think I know what he's going to go for. Yeah, actually, I was right. Hey, cool. I called Garbodor as my first pick. I'm like, maybe Garbodor, maybe he'll go for the Trick Room kind of setup, considering looking at his team. Might like the Trick Room because Audino can do that as well. But Garbodor, you know, don't sleep on Garbodor. First of all, it's made of trash. That'd be terrible for you. But Garbodor has, if you look at its moveset, it gets a lot of coverage. It gets Stomping Tantrum, Seed Bomb, mixed with Gunk Shot. Top of the fact, it has Aftermath as an ability, carries Spikes and Toxic Spikes, and it hurts. Like, its attack stat's good, its HP stat is good, everything about it is good. So, don't let that thing do any setting up, because it can put down the pain if it's not getting the setup going. I like it as a Pokemon. I think it's actually quite valuable to pick up out of NURU, especially on this last rotation. I think he got a steal, my opinion. But there we go. That's going to be the picks for the first 6, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the order ready. We'll take a look at the teams during the break, give a little bit of notices on what we're looking for, and then we'll give the coaches an opportunity to look at Pool 2. Thank you to everybody who was doing that. I meant to take pictures of the pick orders. That's okay. Here we go. Pool number 2, as you can see, is very scary. It's got a bunch of power, a bunch of pain, and who will be the first person to ban and pick out of all of this? The answer will surprise you. Oh my god, what is... Okay, you two need to stop sharing these positions. But, you can start calling rigged in chat. As believe it or not, Jillip will once again lead off the very first pick as the Miami Milotics in the first pick and ban for Pool 2. LA Golden Lucario's second pick here. Todd Skyrim Howard getting that third pick. Really powerful considering Pool 2's got a lot. Fortnite Ninjas in 4th. I Am Group 5th. Lunar Cresselia's Tyler sitting in the middle. TC Thunderous on 7th. Sarasota Suicune's on 8th. Manchester Masters 9th. And then Golden State Greninjas and Initiator on Ice Cold, rounding up the back end of the first 2 picks. I don't expect Tapus to live. I don't expect much to live here. There is a lot of pain and power to be found in this group. We'll be giving them 10 minutes to look at this. And we'll go from there. I don't think it's much of a magic trick, Sharking. I think it's more of an expectation. Excuse me. Now, the worst part about this with my standing desk is I actually can't squeeze the handles to bring this down. I do need to sit, though. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been getting a lot of action and you have no idea what's going on, let's update you with the teams. If you want to take a look at them right now. If we take a look at these teams right now, let's take a look at Ice Cold first and foremost. Ice Cold so far picking up Ferrothorn, Dusknoir, Slowbro, Mesprit, Crawdaunt, and Garbodor. I think it's a great setup for a Trick Room team if they're actually truly looking for that. But the other thing is, it's a lot of slow Pokemon, so that's why I'm just really on that Trick Room bandwagon, plus a couple of Pokemon that can already use Trick Room on this team. Definitely needs a defensive core. I don't think there's going to be enough going here. Slowbro Ferrothorn does exist with the Dusknoir, but it's not like true. The hazards come from both Ferrothorn and Garbodor, so he's got that side covered, which is good for Trick Room if you want to try and force switches, or if you're trying to just stall out Trick Room. It can become painful if you're forcing them out. Nothing in the terms of star power. I would say Crawdaunt. I don't want to say Slowbro per se. I know Slowbro is star power. There's been a lot of dark types that can just destroy it with knockoff. A lot of good knockoffing Pokemon, so, ow. I do expect this team to be fleshed out a little bit more in Pool 2, most likely around a Trick Room setting of sorts. Manchester Manectric, Nidoqueen, Stack Attack, Kyurem Black, Roselia, Togekiss, Arcanine. Ivan just wanted this very flexible defensive core, and I think what he's done here makes a lot of sense. The Kyurem Black just being that one of many wall breakers that he might be looking for, but this scooped up pretty much, in my opinion, what he wants. This is a very Ivan draft. Ivan has a lot of history with the way that he drafts, and I have nothing against this because I think he actually got something that'll be a little more flexible. He doesn't have a regenerator core, but he has a lot more to play around with in terms of defense, and I think that's really what he thrives off of the most. Lunar Cresselias have Gligar, Tyrantrum, Sylveon, Sizatope, Manectric, and Miltank. Feels a smidge incomplete, but we might see something that Tyler, Poke Trainer, might try and use around that Mega Man. I think Mega Man will be kind of the linchpin to make this work. But overall, kind of feels incomplete. Pool 2 will be able to clean it up quite a bit. So not the worst thing in the world. Sarasota Suicunes, Heatran, Mudsdale, Blastoise, Celebi, Slurpuff, and Tornadus. Good power picks for the most part. Has that great defensive core. Celatran, we'll see if he can try and finish it off with a Mew and be Mitch 2.0. But don't think it's going to happen. Also, with the pick order that he's in, he's not going to be in a good pick order to get that, I don't think. But nonetheless, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a good defensive core, and I think that's going to bring him into his Pool 2 picks quite comfortably. Todd, Skyrim, Howard, Dragonite, the mascot, Lurantis, Oricorio, Xurkitree, Chandelure, and Hoopa. Last two picks kind of scream Trick Room to me, to be quite frank with you. But I am seeing a lot of slow but good power. Nothing is over base. I mean, other than Oricorio, nothing is really higher than base 80 speed. So maybe looking for a little bit faster pokes in case Trick Room is getting shut down and wants to pivot a little more over to some momentum. I do see this as more of an aggressive team, though. We don't see particularly a great or a stealth rocker in general, so maybe looking for some hazards. So at this point, you kind of pinched yourself into, I have slow Pokemon, but I need more power and kind of a defensive core that can make that work. So we'll see what he's able to pick up. I am Groot, Suicune, Gastrodon, Blissey, Honchkrow, Hippowdon, and Tauros. I think Sweet D has scooped him up a fairly good start to his defensive core because he loves playing that 3-3 with 3 defensive mons, 3 offensive mons, but the defensive mons don't get completely walled per se. And grabbing Suicune is just wonderful. Same thing with Blissey, although, well, Blissey's got access to Size of Toss, so as long as it's a ghost type, it's okay. Doing 100 damage with Size of Toss is fairly good if you can wall stuff. I expect him to look for that 4th or maybe 5th defensive mon to help out quite a bit. And then grab straight offense. Sharkings grabbed up Volcarona, Kabutops, Alolan Ninetales, Dodrio, Starmie, and Serena. Looking already at a great offensive core. I'm expecting Volcarona to be built around here. Alolan Ninetales is going to give that good defensive bonuses with Light Clay in the hail. So you're going to see the chip away damage as well as just a lot of maybe not so much suicide lead Alolan Ninetales, but mostly, like, he's just got good offensive Pokemon to start. He's just going to keep adding star power, literally, to this team. Mitchie of Fortnite Ninjas, Latias, Quagsire, Gengar, Virizion, Rotom Heat Fortress. As it stands, I feel like this is the most complete team just by itself from Pool 1. I think he's got a good start already here with getting momentum into it. We usually say that he's a little more of an aggressive setup kind of hazards person. Fortress is definitely going to provide him all those hazards. And then he has this good pivoting here with Rotom Heat into something like a Quagsire to take hits that is needed. And then Latias, if it ever gets to set up, just becomes a beast. It can also just go something like Choice Specs to start dropping a bunch of damage. So just try and get your Pokemon there, get the hazards going, be good to go. Golden State Greninjas, Venusaur, Bibarel, Empoleon, Flygon, Pelipper, Ludicolo. Rain, next. Miami Milotics, Machamp, Darmanitan, Weavile, Cryogonal, Manaphy, Ferroseed. The start wasn't necessarily what you wanted to see from Jilp, as one Pokemon was randomized into him, but has great wall breakers to start as well as cleanup. I think what's going to need to happen now is a defensive core picked up, as well as finding some momentum to get these revenge killers in and make some things work. There's good ways to do it, but I think he's going to need a little more. The Z Rain Dance does make sense, though, on the Manaphy, now that I saw it in chat. Last but not least, LA Golden Lucario, Scizor, Caracosta, Lopunny, Stoutland, Meloetta, Snorlax. Not the, Coma actually drafted, the draft feels a little broken at the moment. Might be just a little bit from, we'll have to go back in the podcast and look at the pick orders. There is a good starts here for some setups between Lopunny and Scizor, though. Trying to get one of those two in, or getting both in, just making one. Obviously, you'd have to make Lopunny the Mega if you use both of them at the same time. But I think there's some potential here to find some defensive core that could set these things up to sweep. But for the most part, we'll see what this lineup. I mean, Meloetta can also do quite well with the Calm Mind setup, or just going with Choice Specs and be that budget Lele, as I call it. Because without it using Relic Song, it doesn't have an ability. So we'll see what Coma can craft for himself. But we got about 2 minutes left, and then we're gonna go from there. Excuse me. Let's get these in order. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful night. Those who are watching, thank you very much for supporting the Pro Pokeball, as always. It's a wonderful event that we get to put on with everybody. Feels great to be back, honestly, and I'm going to try my best to take care of my throat. So much more, and I've already failed because I forgot my tea with honey, and I know Marie is glaring at me right now, but I can't help it, okay? I am half speed with one hand. So I guess that also includes my brain at this point. Lame excuse, but, it's my excuse. No. Get down there. There we go. 1 minute left for the coaches, and then we get back into it. As we mentioned in the podcast, there are a lot of power picks that are kind of hard to pin down here at this point, so we'll see what's going on with that. And of course, all 4 Earl prior picks, nothing gets affected going between pools. It just all resets. We go with our first bands. Okay. Alright, here we go. Perfect music for banning. Miami Milotics, your ban. Let's get Pool 2 started. Milotic wasn't a pools, I thought. Which, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a cat to you? You think that's a cat? Okay. Mew's gone. It's more of a fetus to me, but hey. teach their own. Mew, I think it doesn't even need to be proven through Pro Pokeball. Mew is just a flexible Pokemon. It does everything, and you don't want to have to deal with it, especially with Celotrans on the line, and not that that matters, but just Mew is obnoxious. Gamma's not completely deterred from the podcast in the future. Hooray, rejoice. Golden Lucario's Coma, your ban, please. Is your ban actually Wormadam, Coma? I mean, I guess. Coma, are you banning Wormadam? Wormadam, done. Okay. Well, if we really need to talk about it, Wormadam is super flexible. Has 3 different forms it could take on. It's scary. It's terrifying. To be fair, Rotom Trash is not totally trash, just trash. Either way. Todd Skyrim Howard, your ban, please. Tapu Koko. There go 2 of the 4 Tapus. Don't expect to see these things making it through, but if they do, it might change some people's plans. Tapu Koko is, in my opinion, the second best, or third best Tapu, actually. I put Boo slightly above it, but could go both physical and special. Getting access to Electric where you don't fall asleep and boost your stab electric. Pretty powerful. Could do quite a bit of things. It can be quite unpredictable. Also gets access to U-turn and Volt Switch, so that's another thing going for it. Mitch, your ban, please. T-Tar is gone. Not want to see more sand in this. We've already seen Hippowdon picked up, but T-Tar on its own, great Pokemon to be a good defensive wall, but can also go offensive. It can go Stealth Rock offense. It can go Scarf. It can go Bandit. It could do quite a bit of things. Very, very powerful Pokemon. And the fact it gets a very big special defense boost from the fact that it sets up its own sand. It's a great poke. I am Groot. I'm not actually Groot, though. Your ban, please. Amoonguss. Let's start tripping away at the lovely Regenerator core that would have taken 4 picks to get to. Amoonguss is a giant pain. Also wrecks his team quite a bit if I remember all the water types on it, but Amoonguss is an enormous pain in the ass if you can't actually break it. Can check a lot of attacks, has access to Spore, Clear Smog, and also Foul Play. Can even run Foul Play against those physical offensive Pokemon that are trying to kill it. So, not managed correctly, it could become quite a pain for a lot of players. Ludicrous Tyler, your ban, please. Your mascot's already banned. Which one do you want? Wait, no, your mascot's not banned. Ha! I was thinking of Todd Skyrim Howard. Cresselia being taken off. This actually makes more sense to me this time around. Not being picked up and actually banned instead. We didn't see great use of Cresselia last time, and it is difficult to kind of find the time that it will be good. Like, if there's a lot of wall breakers, it's not going to do well. But the other thing is, you already see 2 people that are playing that want to use Trick Room. Cresselia's a really pain-in-the-ass Trick Room because it does get access to Lunar Dance to instantly switch in, and you get to heal that Pokemon coming in. So, great utility poke for teams that can use it. And we're not going to be able to see it used maybe better this time, but nonetheless. Sharking! That's why I got confused, Soto. Landorus T. Only Thunderous T can stand this time, but Lando has to go. Once again, no Lando in a Pro Pokeball. You can hear it in my voice. Oh no, the horrors. Do I need to explain Lando T? Do I actually have to explain Lando T? I'm not going to. I'll stick by that statement. Suicunes! Gamer, you're banned. We need runtime. True. Oh, I don't get to see Celestial. That's actually kind of sad. Celestial's a giant pain in the ass. This thing gets Leech Seed for some reason. Flying Steel type, basically, arguably a more obnoxious and offensive Skarmory, but can still do the same things. Kind of a Skarmory and has access to Roost, has access to Leech Seed. Very difficult to break if you don't have super effective attacks or anything set up to take it down. And that's going to continue on the train of not seeing it come up. Manchester Manetric Ivan, your ban, please. So far, based on these bans, it looks like just a lot of good utility pokes that could add to a defensive core. Of course, scooping up your defensive core to begin with would have been great, but almost all of these pokes have been something that could just be obnoxious when it comes to stalling out time. Magiarna is gone. Somebody called that one. I did a tiny bit of research into Magiarna. I think it's a lot of different moves. Steel Fairy typing, also kind of obnoxious to hit and to deal with, because that stab could take out quite a bit of types that you wouldn't, that you're not used to, I guess, sort of thing. But it gets dual stab. It can do Shift Gear. It can do Volt Switch. It can Fleur Cannon you. Physical and special, mixed. It's quite obnoxious to deal with, and Soul Heart does give it that special attack boost, so you do want to stop that thing from getting a lot of things done, and the way to stop it is to ban-hammer it. Golden Stage Greninjas. World Leader, your ban, please. We'll see. I think Corviknight's been pinned as like a super offensive poke, so that should be interesting. Magnezone. Aw, oh, man, I thought Magnezone would be really good in this tournament. Based on what I'm seeing, a lot of water ground types were picked up, so maybe not, but just wanted to see that electric typing just threatened quite a bit with taking out fairy types, but also just Magnezone's just a good Pokemon. But I don't think it actually would have gotten as much value now that I look at teams. I'd have to look at it again. It's kind of hard for me to remember everything that's going on, but it gets traps on. Actually, it gets a trap on its own team because it can trap Empoleon, but nonetheless. Yep, Magnezone is going to be out of here. And last but not least, Initiator, your ban, please. It literally had value against you. Pinsir! Okay. Pinsir was one that Gam and I were talking about. Trying to figure out, like, you know, it somewhat makes sense considering of the flying types we could be worrying about. Pinsir would kind of be the top tier one with Aerialate, I suppose. Being able to use Aerialate return could actually be quite threatening, but I think if anything that might help and make some people feel a little more comfortable who might be lacking in the flying tanks programs. But two Tapus have been left alive. Guess who goes first? Well, now let's see. How does this play out? Because Jillip gets that first pick. What is going to be the first pick, though? We really want to figure out. Bulu and Feeny are both up. Bulu, I didn't expect. Feeny was a maybe? Bulu, like, Feeny was a maybe, but there's already been a lot of water types picked up, so I can not understand Feeny staying alive, but it'll buff up anybody who needs a good defensive poke. Good water defensive poke, whoever gets the pick of the first four here. First person going is Jillip. Jillip, your pick, please. Milotics. Oh, man. Azelf, what the wow. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Alright, Azelf is first picked up. It's in UU because it's a little bit better as an offensive Mesprit. It has more damage, more speed, has Stealth Rock, access to U-turn, and Explosion to get a lot of switching going. Usually a Suicide Lead with Focus Sash, but if not, it can still do a fair amount of damage going physical and special, mix it up, stuff like that. But Azelf goes in. LA Golden Lucarios, your pick, please. This pool is so freaking stacked. There's, like, here's the other thing, too. Coma, use @ thank you. Tapu Fini is picked up. And we did say that we need to see a little more solidarity on Koma's team, and he ends up picking up a Tapu. I think that's a pretty good steal. But yeah, based on the team, Feeny is going to be a very good fit. Getting that bulky water type Water Fairy is fairly good, and you're going to find a lot of great setup there. No Halucha, unfortunate, but who cares? Feeny is a very solid pickup. I honestly, like, Tapus were pinned at my top list of these should never make it, or if they do, they're going to be very good. And even though I rank Feeny as the weakest, in my opinion, Stab Scald with the Fairy typing, still really good, and it can do a lot. And now I'm going to have to go read on the Tapus, and I really was hoping never to do that. Soto Dude. Your pick, please. Let's see what else is going to be scooped up here, because like we said, you're going to get a value at this point picking from anything above PU. I think Pool 1 PU was great. Pool 2 PU is not so bad, or not so great, but NU, RU, U, and OU are all pretty stacked with a lot of great pokes to finish off teams. So we're going to see what's going on. That is going to end up being... Hey, don't talk about the Licky Licky officer. Not yet. Jirachi. Jirachi, Serene Grace, pain in the ass. Good pivot poke. Also can be quite obnoxious. Get a lot done between Body Slam and Iron Head. But overall, the typing just helps it be a great scouter with using Wish, using U-Turn, and get a lot done. I like the Jirachi pickup here. Fortnite Ninjas, can I just take a guess at what you're scooping up, Mitch? Am I allowed to guess? Does it start with a T and end in Bulu? I'm just curious. Either way, Fortnite Ninjas, it is your pick. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Didn't even have to... I had to scroll up to see how fast he spanned that. I think Tapu Bulu is the second best Tapu. Because this thing, who cares if it's weak to poison? Who cares if it's trash? If this thing sets up even one Swords Dance or Bulk Up, the wall-breaking capabilities of it is incredibly, incredibly disgusting. This Pokemon does a lot of damage, and Grass Fairy is nothing to shulk at for Dual Stab on top of its Play Rough, on top of its Horn Leech, plus Grassy Terrain. What I basically talked about with Gamma was with Grassy Terrain. What you have to think about is, with Leftovers, this thing basically gets double the Leftovers heal, and it doesn't care about other things because it'll just smash it regardless. But hey, now we get to see an experienced player use this Pokemon, which should be cool. I am Groot, your pick, please. Superior. Contrary Leaf Storm, nothing to shulk at. Plus, looking at all the water types that have been picked up and all the water types that are part of these defensive cores, Superior's going to get some great value here just spamming Leaf Storms. Unless you got Sap Sipper Miltank on your team, this thing can start ramping up a bunch of damage, and its speed is, I think, like a whopping 114? Or is it faster than that? It's very fast, has access to Glare, which can still help you with crippling certain pokes, but Contrary is going to make this great between using Dragon Pulse, Leaf Storm, Hidden Power Fire. It doesn't get Play Rough? Oh, I thought it did. Weird. Okay. Either way. I thought it did. Really? It's still good. Oh, I'm thinking it's Horn Leech Superpower. Never mind. Either way. Superior, really good steal here, especially with the amount of power that's left over in this pool. I think it's going to be good for him. Lunar Cresselia is your pick, please. Let's see what Tyler's going to want to scoop up. Shaman. Okay. Where are you, Shaman? Why am I blind? Why can't I see Shaman? Where do you see Shaman? Oh yeah, it's an NU poke. I forgot about that. I think in its own right, being an NU poke is a pretty decent pickup. It's not a pushover. It's a good grass type if you're looking at the grass types that you want to grab. Seed Flare gives you a lot of pressure just being bulky, but generally speaking, Natural Cure makes it very difficult to just take down via stall. You do have to smash the thing in the face. Leech Seed is going to give you some of that great opportunity to take some health back in as you're making some switches around, going from there. And it could just go offensive in many ways. Air Slash Access, Seed Flare, Psychic. It does well. Shaman, I think, does very well for the tier that it's in. Maybe not amongst this entire pool in itself, but I think as a Pokemon overall for its value, I think it's pretty mid-tier in my opinion. Transverse City Thunderous, your pick is going to be Gyarados. Gyarados has a few ways it can be played. Obviously, as a Mega, you want to go for Moxie so you can get some attack boost before turning into that Water Dark Monster House that can go with some DDs and just start smashing face with Dual Stab. It can also go defensive with Intimidate, has access to Z Flying, and give you a fair amount of pressure to take down some, or at least cover up some of those flying weaknesses that you weren't able to touch before. Gyarados is just a solid pickup. Sarasota Suicunes. What is your pick? We did want to see a little more out of this. We do have the Celatran core. I do expect him to find an offensive poke that he's happy with. And freaking Hoopa Unbound is going to be picked up. Now, this thing would have been a monster as I pinned in a Trick Room team. And Hoopa Unbound in general, I'm really excited to see this thing get scooped. Because it as I pointed out, great offensive stats on both ends. And also, even though its speed kind of sucks, Choice Scarf, I still trust this thing. It does get switcheroo, but this thing hurts. It does so much damage. It's Dual Stab. Yeah, it's weak to Bug, whatever. It's just, I've always wanted to see Hoopa Unbound used correctly, because I don't get to see it very often, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to see a mid-tier player who is trying to learn from the best to get up here and try and make it work. Let's see how long it lasts. Manchester Manectric. Ivan, your pick, please. Necrozma, don't even have to start the timer. Necrozma. We were talking about this, Gamma and I don't want to completely take away from Necrozma. I feel like it's normal, or it's just basic psychic typing holds it back a smidge. Does get access to stuff like Steelium Z, everything does, but it's not atrocious. It does get Rock Polish, does get Calm Mind, so it can set up, it can do some things. And considering what we want to see out of the Manchester Metro, we're looking for a little bit more aggressive picking. Necrozma can cover it. It's just, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it. I'm going to need to see it used well and see it and how it fits onto people's teams and maybe get a little more value out of it. Maybe they'll be able to squeeze more value out of it than I give it credit for. Golden State Greninjas. What is your pick, World Leader? What are you going to continue on the rain trail? I mean, he technically could if he picks up something like... Polito's not in this. But we'll have to see what he goes with. I can guess, and I didn't guess correctly. I was going to guess a little bit of a higher tier pick, but we do see Cloyster come out. Cloyster, Skill Link, Shell Smash Extraordinaire. Can also go defensive. And go for Spikes and Explosion, just try and give it a little bit more. It does have 1A defense, unfortunately its Ice typing does neuter that a smidge when it comes to how much it can actually tank up. But, I mean, really when you think about it, it's not too bad. It's, it can give you some good pressure if you're just looking for a super sweeper. And that's all you're looking for. Alright, Anish, you get 2 picks. Your first pick and then your paired pick with that, please. Being at the bottom, you do get that control. And considering how much power there is, he can scoop up a pretty good pairing here. Mawile, and oh my god, he has gone with the Crabominable. Okay, we thought this was going to be we thought somebody might go with it, but that's one half of the deal that was made on the ProPoke podcast. We're looking for Crabominable to, one, be picked up, and then use at least 50% of the games. Successfully is a different story, but Mawile, we already see this is pretty much going to be a Trick Room team. We're curious to see what other Trick Roomers are going to be used here, but Mawile, Crabominable. Mawile's pretty good with its Mega, obviously getting huge power and base 100 attack. Does a lot of damage between its Dual Stab. It does actually get Play Rough and Iron Head, so that's going to do a lot of damage to setup. Also gets access to a nerfed Sucker Punch, but Sucker Punch nonetheless, and can go for Intimidate before it Megas. So it gives itself a little bit of a buffer zone. I like it, Crabominable. I actually think it's okay. It just suffers from having really poor speed and not being able to put his Dual Stab to good work. But if set up correctly, I think Crabominable can do a fair amount of damage as a wall breaker. Golden State Greninjas, your PU or UU pick, please. Infernape! Shoutouts to the original meme of how World Leader got his way in here as the one Thunder Punch man. Infernape was the famous Thunder Puncher that he had, but Infernape, kind of, if you want to think of it in terms of Darmanitan, just has great pivoting power here with U-Turn. Does get access to a couple of different ways it can play. It can play specially if it wants to use Vacuum Wave, an Overheat, or Flamethrower, or Fire Blast, whichever one. Fake Out support, can be a lead, can just do a lot of damage. Close combat for the Dual Stab. It's good. I like it. Iron Fist as well. it's got some really good things for it. Infernape is an overall solid pick in my opinion. Manchester Manectric. P or UU, please. I'm trying to see here. What would Ivan go for? Maybe something. I can take a guess. You know, I thought he was done picking up defensive core, but I did forget. Yeah, I guess Alola is alive, and he does like his regenerator. I did expect more of an aggressive pick, but he's holding out for these aggressive picks. He must have his eyes on Pokemon he thinks that are going to last, and I can't blame him. But once again, another defensive poke. So I'm expecting Nidoqueen to actually be more of his physical attacker now, or more of his offensive poke like he did with Nidoking, just on a slightly lower level. But Alola, just a giant pain in the ass. Regenerator, huge HP stat, great Wish Passer, can stall for days, has Scald support as well. Sarasota Suicunes, your PU pick, please. Electros, I like this pickup. I think Electros, for the value that you take it at, is a fairly solid Pokemon, considering, again, Electrics were kind of far and few between. But also, Electros, if you look at its stats, yeah, its speed sucks, yeah, its HP is kind of unfortunate, but everything else about it is very good. Has great attacks on both ends, has knockoff support, has Volt Switch support, U-turn support. There's a lot that you could do with this that could just kind of give... It could give utility to the team that you have, so it'll be good as part of the team, not by itself. That's what I wanted to see, and based on what I'm seeing here, Sarasota Suicunes kind of need that buffer, right? It's a little disjointed other than the Celatran, so Electros can kind of give the support of the role that is somewhat missing from the team. Thundurus, your PU pick, please, is going to be a Alolan Raichu. I don't know how I feel about this poke. I guess having Electro types is good. Again, you see the water types being picked up. Alolan Raichu, dual stab. I don't know. It gets its own Z attack. I'll have to see it used. I'm not convinced, although its speed is quite good. So revenge killing could be its good thing. Volt switcher. I don't know. I will have to see it. I don't think it's bad. I need to see why it's being used. That's all. Lunar Cresselia, Tyler, your PU or UU pick, please. Shoutouts to my left hand for controlling this entire tournament while my right hand literally rests in a brace. Ah! And then I took the brace off, and then it hurt. I have to give it more room. That's okay. Pidgeot! Ooh. I am an enormous fan of Mega Pidgeot. I really like Pidgeot. I think that this Pokemon just becomes obnoxious because of 100% super effect, or 100% stab hurricanes, which, again, you want that flying attack. There you go. Pidgeot's the one to use it. No Guard helps it be able to use Heat Wave and Hurricane a lot. The only thing it suffers from is it doesn't get a lot of great attacks that it can pair with it. So, kind of suffers from this moveset, but has access to U-turn, gets hidden power to cover whatever you need it to cover. But being able to spam Hurricane, you're basically, it's like the equivalent of spamming Dynamic Punch with, what's it called? Equivalent of spamming Dynamic Punch with Machamp. So I like it as a pick. I think it's good. And again, we didn't really see a true thing here, and that's another offensive Pokemon. Although, running with Manectric is still a fast Pokemon to run by itself. But you kind of want to see what's going to be paired here. Maybe it's just a cover for the bans that could happen week by week. Sweet D is going for Lycanroc. And this is not Lycanroc Dusk. I believe, is this the Lycanroc that gets Sand Rush? I can't remember. Is this the one that gets, yeah, this is the one that gets Sand Rush, which I believe he ran last time with Hippowdon, so now he has access to that again. Yeah, because Lycanroc Dusk gets Sheer Force? I don't remember. But yeah. Yeah, he's going to be able to use that, again, having that nice backup when he needs the speed. And just, we saw Lycanroc used quite effectively by Diego. It's almost like he's building the same team that he had before, just having different defensive pokes. What a master. What a god. Mitch, your pick is going to be Girder. I think Girder gives a lot of support. Super fat Pokemon to take down, and when set up, threatens with Mach Punch and also Drain Punch. It gets very annoying to fight it. Very, very annoying to fight Girder if you don't have it handled properly. Get the Psychic types out of the way, and then Girder just sits there happily, sets up bulk ups, just punches everything in. Gets access to Poison Jab and Ice Punch. The coverage is good on it. Not picking up Conk. Girder is the next best thing, and a very valuable pickup, depending on where you're pivoting from. Soto Dude, your pick, please. Tough Claws, thank you. Yes, I did. Jellicent, ooh. Jellicent in this tier, I like. It's a good ghost type to pick up, has access to Water Absorb. Excuse me. It has access to Water Absorb, but it's a pain in the ass to deal with. It just kind of stalls you out, self-recovers. There's your bulky water type that you want on your team, which he didn't have until now. And then you still look at like, oh look, there's Circuitry, and there's a lot of electric types now. But nonetheless, hey. Jellicent's going to help him round out and get a little bit of that defensive core that we were talking about. Still not the speed necessarily that Todd needs, but the rest of the draft shall tell, I guess. L.A. Golden Lucario's your PU pick, please. Claydol. Claydol is a somewhat solid Trick Room user, but I don't think you're going to be using it for that. It is a spinner that you can use for your team. It has Levitate, so you can switch in kind of safely. Ground Psychic is okay in terms of switch-ins. I don't know, it's hard to say that Claydol will do a lot, but as a pickup, like we said already, PU Pool is kind of weak. So if you're looking for it, it's most likely just going to be the spinner that Coma needs on the team to help out, considering that there was no other Pokemon other than Defog that could really make use of this. So it suddenly becomes a defensive poke with a purpose. Last but not least, and also a Stealth Rocker, that is fair. Lantern for... That is Lantern for Jilp to round off the first round of picking here. Volt Absorb and Water Absorb. Most times running Volt Absorb to take out the neutral damage that it can take, but Volt Absorb can be kind of a block. Here we go with more of what we wanted to see, which is building up that defensiveness beyond just the Ferroseed and potentially the Manaphy, but Lantern's going to be able to soak up a lot of hits. Threatens with Volt Switch. Dual Stab carries, it's a good Pokemon. You know, I actually like it in the PU tier. I don't think it's number one compared to the other water types we've seen, but I think it's a solid water type to pick up nonetheless. Alright, here we go. Let's re-randomize that order. We're going to get into that pick, that ban, and then the pick again. And what do we got? Oh my god. Well, this will be interesting. As it always is. Here we go. First drafter is going to be Ice Cold with Initiator, followed up by the Lunar Cresselia's, Golden State Greninjas, LA Golden Lucario's, Miami Milotics coming in at 5th here. I Am Groot once again sitting in the middle. Sarasota Suicunes in 7th. Todd Skyrim Howard on 8th. Manchester Manectric in 9th. He likes to sit at the bottom of this place. And then Shark King and the Fortnite Ninjas rounding off the end of this. This is scary. Scary for Groot. I mean, all things considered, for people who have been sitting in the middle, the teams have still been drafted pretty well. I'm liking the combinations that are coming out of these and just giving, still getting good value. That's either really good for those coaches or really not so good for the other coaches who should have been doing a little bit more damage control here with choosing things. But we've already got Anish's pick, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Implications, I think this is actually not too bad for the Fortnite Ninjas. I think they've already picked up pretty good things, and getting the double will be nice to see after everybody else. And also getting that getting that first second ban will be great. I forgot to put these teams in order. Uh-oh. Alright, here we go. Let me just repair these. Take some time, ladies and gentlemen. Relax. Appreciate that we are back in Pro Pokeball season. And it's wonderful. You know, this music from Battle Revolution is awesome. So what do we got here? Let's get this in order. these guys. Hello. Get over here. So how we doing? I'm just moving the teams around so I have them in order and I can call them out correctly. I am Groot sitting in that 6th position. Again. Manchester Metric. And here we go. Okay, so first things first. Initiator wants Mimikyu, which was dropped to UU, but has gone back to OUBL or UUBL, whatever. Mimikyu, when not played around correctly, will destroy you. When played around correctly, can be managed, but can do a lot of damage. Z-Splash, obviously, being one that comes to mind, but Swords Dance as well, just being able to go with Dual Stab. Can do a fair amount. So we'll have to gauge what it does for him, but hey, you know what? It's gonna work well if he is truly going for that Trick Room team. Mimikyu just suddenly fits in and can do a crap ton if it sets up freely. Lunar Cresselia is your pick, please. Oh. Getting points with the artist of this tournament, Incineroar, picked up. So, okay. Here's the thing about Incineroar. It gets Intimidate. Yes, it's a Fire Dark type. Does have Stab Knockoff. Does also get Fake Out. Good utility. Can do a fair amount of damage between Darkest Lariat, but you're going to be using Knockoff anyways. And Flare Blitz. It's an okay Pokemon. I need to see it played well. But if you're looking for a Pokemon that can kind of control the field a smidge and just get a little bit of chip damage down here and there, Incineroar can fill that role. Golden State Greninjas, your pick, please. I mean, it is, totally. Oh, shoot, I forgot to... Oh, no, I forgot to click the timer. Haha. World Leader, your pick. I don't know what he's actually going to go for here. Like, Cloyster Infernape is kind of a weird start. I thought I'd try and pick up something that's a little more... that covers his weaknesses. Maybe his... What does he still need? He needs a backup to Rain. If Rain gets banned, his team actually kind of, not falls apart, but he does have a little bit of suffering with it. Maybe, oh man, I think I know what he's going to go. Where is it? I think I know what he's going to pick up. World Leader only has 20 seconds left, though. Unless he actually called and I didn't see it. Well, 10 seconds, and then after that, uh-oh. Gliscor. All right. Right on time. Not what I expected, but Gliscor is a good OU pick. We saw Gligar. What Gliscor gets access to is obviously... Oops. What Gliscor gets access to is its Poison Heal, which keeps it quite healthy. Also stops it from getting status from anything that will wreck it unless you play it poorly. But... good defensive Pokemon. Can sit well with Empoleon, actually. So... and Mega Venusaur, actually, I kind of like that pairing a smidge, because the Empoleon can come in on the ice attacks. It's not too bad of a start to a pair to a defensive core. So, you know, that's pretty neat. I'm liking what he's trying to do here. LA Golden Lucario's Coma, your pick, please. Klefki. We were taking a look at Klefki the other night. Gets access to, it's nothing but utility. This thing is straight utility. Prankster will help it out quite a bit. And then if it gets walled by any dark types, you can carry, I don't know, Play Rough, Dazzling Gleam, whatever you want to do to handle those guys. But being able to drop those hazards, drop those screens, just give your team the buff that it needs to stay well. Klefki is just really good to get. Miami Milotics, Jillip, your pick, please. Started to panic. I thought I went out of order. I'm like, wait, what? What does Jillip need? Jillip still feels disjointed. I think he's... I don't know. I think more defense? Nihilego. Alright. Nihilego is a setup. It does get access to Toxic Spikes and I believe Stealth Rock. Can do a fair amount of damage too. It does get dual stab in that Poison Rock odd stab, but it does get good strong moves of its type. Gets good coverage, can be offensive. It can do a lot. It's a solid pickup. I don't know, based on what I'm seeing here for the Miami Melodics, I kind of like it because it gives him just another option to lead with, just to get some hazards set up and just try and get his big sweepers in, such as Weavile or maybe Manaphy with Z, Rain Dance, something like that. We'll have to see it play out. I am Groot, your pick. Terrakion. I feel like I've seen this team from Diego before. I don't know. Terrakion, the OG double dancer, trying to destroy everything. Rock fighting stab is really, really good offensively. Has access to Swords Dance and Rock Polish. Just great coverage, and for what it can use and what it gets stab on, just does a lot of damage. Hell, it used to run HP Ice back in Gen 5. Figure that one out. It's really good. It's just a really, really good Pokemon. Gamer, your pick, please. As he hums out loud. Now keep in mind, at the conclusion of this draft, the analysis of the teams will happen on the Pro Poke Podcast. We are drafting and then we are out of here. It ran for that stuff, of course. But he's going to draft another team's, what's it called? Another team's mascot. Lucario coming in, doesn't have access to Mega. I was asking Gamma about Lucario. I'm like, I like it, but I also don't like it. It's very flexible in what way it attacks, but its frailty just kind of scares me. But, you know, if it gets set up in the right position, it does get access to Meteor Mash now, which is like, oh, cool. Because I don't think it gets Iron Head. I think it was relying on Bullet Punch. That's what really made it difficult. But with Meteor Mash, this thing hurts quite a bit. Has access to Close Combat, Extreme Speed. So it's a good Pokemon. I don't know how to feel about it in general when it comes to its value versus the other things that could be picked up in this tier. We'll have to see what Gamer can do with it. Todd Skyrim Howard, Mr. Soda Dude. Cobalion, that's the fighting type that I was looking at, personally. Cobalion is... excuse me. Cobalion has that reliable close combat Iron Head stab. Has also access to Volt Switch, so it is one of the three Horsemen of Apocalypse that can switch. But it can be quite obnoxious to fight. Stealth Rock support. It's a very offensive utility poke. Kind of does what it needs to, gets momentum, and then just smacks something that's trying to stand in its way. So I think Cobalion is pretty good here to scoop up. Manchester Manetric, your pick, please. Faster Lucario. Let's see. Ivan, I think, needs... I'm not going to try and influence it, but he needs power, and look at that. Grabs Absol. Interesting. Does he have a Mega on his team yet? Because not Megaing Absol is bold. He doesn't have one yet. Okay, so Absol is that... Honestly, kind of interesting, because he got Magic Bounce, so you can make that good use against a lot of the hazards if you can kind of threaten with that and keep these things safe. And he's already got a really bulky thing behind it. He's got a pretty bulky team to go behind it, so it can kind of come in, sweep. It could run things like Play Rough with its knockoff, and then go with something like Fire Blast. It's got Sucker Punch. It can do a fair amount. Magic Bounce is always a pain in the ass to deal with if you don't expect it, right? It's kind of a noob stomper to not remember that Magic Bounce is a thing. Plus, it's Mega, so once you see Absol, you're like, well, that's going to be something to expect. But it's got speed. It's got good damage. Mega Absol, ladies and gentlemen. Thundurus is picking up Hydreigon. A lot of Yu scoop ups here on this third rotation of Pool 2. Hydreigon is your special wall breaker. This thing destroys Dark Pulse Draco Meteor, drops a lot of damage to just make everything that stands out there uncomfortable, no matter what it is. And great coverage too. Fire Blast to cover those steel types that try to be nasty against both its stab, even though Dark Pulse goes through it now. Regardless, I'm liking Hydreigon as a pickup here. Much better than the Alolan Raichu. He also didn't have a choice on that. Alright, so, Fortnite Ninjas. Your third pick, and then you're going to give me your second ban. Alright, so Conkeldurr is his third pickup. So he gets Girder and... Wait, does he have Girder and Conkeldurr? What on earth? Okie dokie. Never talk to me or my son ever again meme built on a single team. Conkeldurr is just the better... Girder, because it doesn't have to rely on Eviolite per se, but still very fat, has a lot of threat. Conkeldurr gets access to Iron Fist, but also Guts, which can make it very difficult to deal with, considering Mach Punch will do a ton of damage. Drain Punch keeps it healthy. Conkeldurr's a threat. He has options. Alright, Mitch, your second ban, your PU ban, please. Suwako's just doing his own research in the back. Good to see you, man. Frickin' finger, man. Ow. Mitch, what is your ban? Victory Bell. Okay. Stopping any Sun plays, but Victory Bell is also just fast, hurts on both sides. Could just be something like, I don't like this thing very much. It's very fair to say. Thunderous, your PU ban, please. Scyther. Scyther is funny because Aerial Ace Technician boost can be a threat. It's very fast. It does a fair amount if it does get its hands on you. So, I mean, U-turn Aerial Ace is kind of difficult to deal with. Nonetheless, it's gone. Don't have to worry about it. It is painful, though, if it does get through with it. So, it's not going to happen. Manchester Manectric Ivan, your PU ban. PU ban, Ivan. PU. You banned Magearna. I also just lost my voice. Great. Good shit. Excuse me. Ivan, it's your ban right now. You're banning right now. But save that pick. Make sure the two people before you don't. Alolan Sandslash. Okay. To be fair, the person who had I can't remember who had a Alolan Ninetales, but Alolan Sandslash kind of acts like the Lycanroc, where it gets Slush Rush, and Steel Ice is not great, but I mean Icicle Crash plus Iron Head can hurt in the right hands and just do a lot of speed. You know, you can do a lot of speed strats and just kind of outspeed and just do damage here and there. Soto Dude, your PU ban. Good thing PU's not that fantastic. Alright. Excuse me. Another prankster user. This one not kind of threatening because it usually... Leopard usually used prankster for its own good with Thunder Wave and then Substitute Nasty Plot, so it kind of like try and get you with the Substitute when you got parried, and just set up for that mono Dark Pulse sweeping. So, nonetheless, it's gone. Don't want to deal with that. I understand that completely. Gamer, your PU ban, please. Seems to be the theme of this round. No, I figured as much, Mitch. That was my guess. I'm like... Probably picked Girder because he didn't think Conkeldurr would live. And it did. Ooh, Frostlass ban. I like Frostlass. Great suicide lead. And what that means is it stays out there, does as much as it can with spikes, and then parts with a Destiny Bond or some other attack. It can taunt. It is a threatening Pokemon. It's actually pretty fast. It does a fair amount of damage. Not enormous amounts of damage, but for a suicide lead, it's not the worst. Plus, its typing can get a little obnoxious. Just a smidge, though. Nothing ridiculous. But Frostlass is going to be gone. Metagross is going to be banned by I Am Groot. I mean, seeing that it was unfortunately revealed early. Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't think it was going to last anyways. It was either a pick or a ban, and the ban got to it first. Metagross and NURU is a really just good steal. It's kind of like Gastrodon, where it's just for what it does and what it can do. It's a great way to get rid of it, so... It's also, like, it's just so good. You can pick it up at any point, and you can also just ban it at most points. You know what I mean? It's so just disgustingly strong. Chillip, your ban, please. There you go. Has a bit of a vendetta with getting rid of the Trevenant. Trevenant is obnoxious if it just lives. Most times it won't, but when it does live, it does become a big pain with Harvest. Threats with Hornleech has got a lot of recovery options, like rest with Lumberry type of thing. So if it just keeps getting Harvest procs, it progressively becomes just a pain until you can find something that can just smack it and kill it. Nonetheless, LA Golden Lucario's Coma, your ban of anything but PU. I do too, Suwako, and I don't miss that. Coma, you're banned! Let's go! I forgot to click the timer, damn it. What other ban are you gonna kill people with? You got rid of Wormadam. What's your next course of action? What's getting banned? Reun. Oh man, that's a direct attack at the two people who could potentially be Trick Room users. Reuniclus, you know, Reuniclus is a very self-sufficient one, though. It's not necessarily a team decision. Reuniclus just in itself with Trick Room is really good. Combine Trick Room type of thing, or just, it's got a lot of damage. It's got good coverage, too. It has to rely on things like Focus Blast. Reuniclus is fat. It's obnoxious. It does get Regenerator, but Magic Guard Life Orb is very difficult to ignore as well. Golden State Greninjas, your PU ban, please. What's it gonna be, World Leader? Yu's getting thin beyond imagination. As was expected, you have so many power picks, you're not going to care what your other pick is. If you pick Yu, you're picking up another great Pokemon in NURU, so no matter what, there's just so much going for it. No matter which side of the coin you're on here. Alolan Persian, both cats gone. I guess we can't figure out which cat's going to be better, because both of them were just gotten rid of. Alolan Persian is annoying with Fur Coat. But other than that, it can go aggressive, but we also pinned it as one of those picks that kind of be like the last cleanup picks if you're just forced to pick up nothing but a dark type of sorts or just a Pokemon to fill out your team. But we don't have to worry about it. It's gone. Its shenanigans will rest. Lunar Cresselia, Tyler, your PU or UU ban, please. Oh, did it get Parting Shot? Oh, that would make sense. Volcanion. Oh. No eruptions this time, as Volcanion's actually going to get removed. Volcanion we saw actually in the mock ProPokeBowl, if I recall. Steam Eruption can do quite a bit of damage with having that chance to burn. Volcanion does get a really interesting dual stab in Fire Water. So it covered quite a bit. I can't remember how much it did, but it can run a couple of things. I believe Choice Specs, Assault Vest. Again, it's like Zeraora. It's just, you know of its existence, you know what makes it good. You just never seen it in action. I've never actually seen it in action. So who knows? Won't see it this time, though, that's for sure. Ice Cold, your PU ban-ish. And then we're going back and we're seeing what Mitch is going to pick up. I thought this playlist wouldn't play through as many times, but it did. We're almost there. Scyther is banned-ish. Ah, yes, that's right. Okay. Articuno is an interesting one. With the dawn of how many Pokemon we've seen that can run rock moves, I don't think Articuno would have got an incredible value. But unchecked, defog user, freeze dry user. Can be kind of that stally, toxic freeze dry roost sort of set. Also stops any screens staying alive with defog. So, I mean, it is a pain. It is something I would have pinned as a slightly better pickup in PU nonetheless. But we are going to scroll back to the bottom here as the Fortnite Ninjas are picking up Spiritomb. Now, Spiritomb I like because it just gets Will-O-Wisp. It can set up by itself. It could be a mono attacker. Its typing is only weak to Fairy and becomes obnoxious when people are trying to hit it otherwise. So, in this case where we said Spiritomb would be one of those Pokemon that would just kind of have to fit onto a team, I like it. I think it... I don't know. I have to look a little more into it. But Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, it's a nice crippling Pokemon that can just give good utility to the team. Alright, Shark King. Your PU or NU pick. NURU. You could have gone Haunter. You could have had two father-son combinations. Rhyperior. Ooh. Rhyperior is just super hard to break. Yeah, you can hit it for super effective attacks with twice, but otherwise Solid Rock just lets you resist everything else really well. Its defense is enormous. Its base 140 attack is huge. Access to Mega Horn. Has Rock Blast to get rid of those substitute Focus Sash users. I like it. What does it do for the rest of his team? It just kind of fits in as another just bulky wall breaker of sorts. I mean, it can Rock Polish. It's not the greatest. I think like a Choice Band set here trying to fit in with the rest of this team could be pretty good. So, kind of neat. I like it. Manchester Manetric, your PU or NURU pick, please. You wish, Suwaka. Galvantula, hey, there's a sticky web user. Another valuable electric type that you can put onto your team. That's what we needed to see, by the way. That's what Ivan really needed, is something to help with that. Not the speed issue, but just try and get things set up. And Kieran Black not being the fastest OU pickup, his sweepers are, like, Absol's fast, but this will really bring stuff down for Nidoqueen. Galvantula is just a really great pressure here with Compound Eyes, 91% accurate Thunders, Bug Buzz. It's going to help quite a bit. I think this very much plays into the Ivan style of Super Bulk, put out those hazards, and just try and get your things just doing consistent damage over time. We'll see if it lasts. There's a lot of defog users, a lot of rapid spinners, but I think Galvantula is a very solid pickup and will fit into the team very well for him. Soto Dude. PU or NURU pick, please. Electric Web. No. Ooh, Weezing gets attention, hooray. Excuse me. Oh, God. Something went down the wrong pipe. My apologies. I like Weezing. I think it's a really good defensive Pokemon. Typing, mixed with Levitate, mixed with Will-O-Wisp, mixed with the fact that it could use a couple of moves to cover itself. Pain Split, D-Bond. It's a great Pokemon. I super love using Weezing in mixed tiers or just using it in Monotype for shoutouts to Monotype players. But it's gonna very much fit into this. Also, Considering that he needed defensive pokes, let me just take a look. Yeah, I think Weezing's a good start to building that defensive core. Nonetheless, Sarasota Suicune's your PU or NU-RU pick. Syedge, I do like Weezing. Thank you for asking. Again. Gamer, your pick, man. 30 seconds left. Still looking for that whole he's got Hoop Unbound, which is a great start to the offense. Curious how much more he's going to go into it. Maybe grabs another defensive poke. Might have to go with it. 15 seconds left on the clock for Gamer here. Guzzlord! Whoa! That pick is out of left field for me. I guess choosing between all of it, that's the one that he ends up going with. Guzzlord did get through. That's, you know, I didn't actually expect it to. I think I called it would not get through or not get picked up in the regular or in the draft day of ProPokeBowl. But Guzzlord, enormous HP stat, can go offensive on both ends, but I think it's a better special attacker if I recall. Can't quite remember. I think it gets the better attacks on its slightly weaker side. I don't know what to think of Guzzlord. I don't know. He had a pick of other ones. Maybe I see maybe a couple other picks that could have been happening instead of that, but maybe he's got a plan for Guzzlord, something that I don't know clearly. Sweet D wants Mandibuzz. Jesus, why don't you just give him his team back? The man has picked up, like, what is this, 7 of the same Pokemon he uses every single time? Most boring drafter in this entire tournament. Anyways, Mandibuzz is just a super solid dark flying type. It's a very good stall Pokemon. Keeps itself safe with overcoats, so you don't have to worry about the sleep powders that could be flying around. Good stall. Very good pivot. Hurts with Brave Bird and Foul Play. Yeah, but it's just like he just uses it. It's the same looking team for him. Either way, Mandibuzz is a good pickup. You guys are the Wonder Twins. Basically, your picks go hand in hand, nonetheless. Jillop, your PUNU or RU pick, please. We're getting close. There's a couple of Pokemon that are still outlying that I'm surprised have not been scooped up yet, but they won't be scooped up on this rotation anyways. How you doing, Lord Johnny? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the ProPokeBowl. How many Pokemon has Diego used before? Or that he likes? Okay, take that back. He's got 5, but the point being, still. Florge! Okay. Good special defensive Pokemon that can stall out. Can also go for Calm Mind. Just another one of those Pokemon that could just be good at mono attacking while provide utility. Aromatherapy is there. Unfortunately, the one thing that Florge doesn't get is a usable ability, if I recall, unless it's in the sun. I think. Leaf Guard? Does it get Leaf Guard? Can't remember off the top of my head. But it's good to take special attacks that aren't super effective. Dish a little bit of damage back. Wish Supporter, which I think has 75 HP. So. And LA Golden Lucario's taking away Kofagrigus. Now, the thing about Kofagrigus, that's actually a big denial to Trick 'em users, because Kofagrigus is another great Pokemon that is self-sufficient with setting its own Trick Room up and just kind of tripping up teams that are really fast and relying on that. But it has Mummy, which can screw over a lot of usable abilities. Great defense and special defense. Hurts quite a bit when it goes on the offense. Good pickup. Not much, Johnny, I don't. What I like Florge. It's French. It's a flower, Florge. Gold Sacred Ninjas, your PU pick, please. What's left of the PU pool that you could possibly grab? I think Cinccino is still pretty good in here. There's like, I don't want to give too much options to help out people too much. There's a couple. I see a couple that I still value at this point in the game. Now here's the thing about Drampa. Drampa is the badass grandpa that you may have had, or still have. Drampa does a lot of damage. Gets access to Berserk and Sap Sipper. Draco Meteor. Hyper Voice. And that's all I know about it. But I know it's not Dunsparce's evolution, therefore pissed at it. Good wall breaker, though, in my opinion, with the specs. Ludicrous Tyler Poke, your PU or UU pick, please. Drampa is normal dragon. There it is, Hitmonchan, okay. What does Hitmonchan do for this particular team? Let's see. Does he need a spinner? Because that's what Hitmonchan can do for you. The answer is... yeah, he did need a little bit of cleaning if he's not using Defog, which he's probably going to use with Gligar anyways, but... Hitmonchan does have access to Iron Fist. So setting up with Bulk Ups, not too bad for it. Does have the priority Mach Punch, has all the elemental punches if you want to do your best World Leader impersonation. But, you know, it's PU for a reason, and considering other fighting types have been scooped up, it's the best you're going to get right now, from what I can tell. Although, were there any other fighting types you could have grabbed? Not, well, there's Mienshao, but there must be a different reason for Hitmonchan, unless I'm really just thinking about, hey, I need that spinner. Alright, Initiator. Your PU pick to round off this row will be Komala. Komala has a very unique ability, and it cannot be statused. It is always considered asleep, which, funnily enough, I think... does that buff the damage of Wake Up Slap? I don't know. But either way, Komala can't be statused. It's always considered asleep. Get some interesting moves to play around with and do some damage with. It's a pick. It's PU. This PU, again, is not looking truly phenomenal, but you're going to deal with what you've got. Oh yeah, it does get Rapid Spin. Does it get Rapid Spin? I guess. I don't see how it would spin, but either way. Okay. Here we go. Last randomization of the Pro Pokeball drafting for Season 5. Who is going to get that first cleanup pick? Oh my god, Diego's going to freaking kill me. He's not going to like this. Alright. First pickup will be for Mr. Soto Dude of Todd Skyrim Howard. Second pick for Manchester Manetrix. Third pickup for Miami Milotics. Fourth for TC Thunderous. Fifth for Ludicrous and Nish shoved in the middle. Fortnite Ninjas at 7th. Sarasota Suicunes in 8th. Golden State Greninjas holding up 9th. I'm Groot in 10th. LA Golden Lucario is getting that double. Let's see now. With this randomization, this does mean that for teams that need to clean up and grab those final pokes, of course, because you're running out of things that you could choose, you're gonna try and get that best value that you possibly can. This is an imperative moment to either finish stuff off or just take value for later for trading and try and just get a good Pokemon. These will be pivotal. If the team is not complete, this is when it matters most for people to grab the stuff that they need. Although by now, most teams are probably pretty much complete. You want to clean up. But do you really want to be cleaning up from even more trash that's left over from your pick? Probably not. Go. That works there. That. That goes there. Power Construct is banned, yes. Alright, here we go. Primarina scooped up by Soto, dude. Primarina has gotten some pretty good moves as a result of move tutors and moved it up really well and gave it a lot of great things to play around with. Also, if you're feeling cheeky, you go with Hyper Voice with Liquid Voice. It's pretty cool. But Premier is going to be the first scoop up in the final rotation here for Todd Skyrim Howard. Manchester Manetric, your pick, please. Mienshao, here we go. These are these finale things. I think actually Mienshao is another great pickup here for Ivan. Looking to kind of not repair his draft, but definitely fill out what we wanted to see after he grabs this enormous choice of defensive pokes that he might want to put to use. Although, now that I look at it, devoted defensive pokes, maybe are 4 or 5 of them? There was a little bit more than that. But, hey, he's got options, and that's what we like to see. That's what Ivan needs, really, is he's always liked having those teams with options, and this will help him out a little bit better. Miami Milotic, anything you want, my friend. Draft anything and everything. Oh, shoot, right. %10 can get Power Construct? I've never seen it used. No, I mean, Power Zygarde Complete Form is banned. Excadrill is scooped up here. Alright. What does Excadrill do for this team? It's not the speed that we were hoping for, but it is another offensive Pokemon. We're looking to kind of see, like, I think he's got his defensive core laid out. I think he's just, Wait, what? Diggersby! Oh my god, what am I doing? Why did I read Excadrill? The hell? My face. My eyes. What am I doing? I read Diggersby, though. There we go. I meant to say Diggersby because I was about to say, look at that huge power Excadrill, and that makes no sense. But Diggersby, though, still is just that offensive prowess. I feel like Miami Milotics want to take an Ox approach and just ram forehead into keyboard nonstop, and I'm all for it. We do need an aggressive player in here. TV Thunderous, your pick, please. Let's get rid of Diggersby, though. There we go. Alolan Muck, that's what I'm waiting for. I mean, Alolan Muck is just really good. It was banned, I believe, last season. I can't quite remember. No, it wasn't banned last season? I'm thinking of, no, Dagger used it in Season 3? Or is that Doodle? Somebody used it in Season 3. I think it was Dagger that used it in Season 3. Alolan Muck is solid. Really hard Pokemon to kill, per se. It does a lot of damage back. Pretty sweet deal for something that's not very fast. Always solid pickup. Poison Touch also being on any non-poison attack always has that threat of just giving extra status for the extra damage, so I'm all for it. Ludicrouscelia is your pick, please. There's the Excadrill. Kind of glad I saw this picked up before, honestly, our Sand user got his hands on it. Excadrill still has Mold Breaker, still has Spin, still does a fair amount of damage. It could be a good bulky Pokemon to sit on your team, or just be a good denial nonetheless. Or, hey, go, hey, you got Sand, I'm bringing Sand Rush to stop that. Probably not, but it's still a good Pokemon to pick up. You have one more pick, Jillip. Initiator is going to be going for the Kyurem, which mostly suffers from speed, but comes back to a vengeance with, you know, or with a vengeance, with simply having a lot of damage between Draco Meteor and Ice Beam. By the way, Jillip, just really quickly, you do know this is not VGC, right? Fortnite Ninjas! Want Mamoswine? I love Mamoswine. I think it's a really good Pokemon for do you pick to round out a team. This is where I want to see Mamoswine. Like, many people won't commit to its speed or just not trust it as much, maybe, but you want to see a good player pick up Mamoswine. I know Mitch can use it well, and also I think Mamoswine would have been pretty painful for a lot of his team if they had gotten their hands on it. So it's kind of a denial, but also just gives them a great option to use it. Fortnite Ninja's getting some fantastic value here for all of the placement for Mitchie in these drafts. He's constructed a pretty good team, to be fair. And he can always trade away that Girder later if he wanted to for something else that's left over in the pool. Sarasota Suicunes. Your pick, please. The Ments. We do see Salamence picked up. No Mega accessible, but still a super flexible Pokemon that could do a lot of damage on both sides. Z move user as well. Salamence, I think, you know, the amount of OUs that he's got on his team, he's literally just looking for a lot of power, and I'm kind of liking it. As long as he knows how to use it, we could see Suicune's doing a little bit of work here in this season. Golden State Greninjas, this important choice. Second last pick on the 11th rotation. What will it be? This does become difficult. There's not a lot left. Beedrill and Sharpedo not picked up. Amazing. Amazing. There's still quite a bit of powerhouses left, though. Like, if anyone ever wanted to make trades, I'm sure the trade pool will actually have some Pokemon people can scoop up. 20 seconds left for World Leader to make his decision. There's a lot that you could go for. If things aren't working, you can play around with quite a bit of different pokes here. So, it's good to see. I like this waiting. Aerodactyl. Great suicide lead. Also just a decent meta. Mega. He's already got Venusaur, and I don't see that ever replacing it. Although, unless he wants something a little more aggressive, I guess Aerodactyl could fit the bill for that. But Aerodactyl is a great way to get a Stealth Rock to do as much damage as you can, and then die, and then continue on with that. Very well known for its Focus Sash plays back in the day, but also can go Banded and go from there. I am Groot. Your second last pick. Crobat. Ah! Taking the Marie Poke. Looking for points here, but Crobat, fast, great scout, has access to Brave Bird, Defog, can be specially used, but I mean, it's just a super fast poke that will get its U-turn off 9.5 times out of 10. Get its Toxics off, get the job done because of its speed, and, you know, just move on from there. It's no Golbat with Eviolite, but it's most certainly a Pokemon that can clean up some kills here and there while defogging and keeping your team safe and secure. And here we go. We're going to be going through these last two really quickly because Coma has finished off his draft with Tentacruel and what else? Roserade. I saw that. Just forgot it. Tentacruel, Roserade. Two more poison types. Tentacruel being that good specially defensive Pokemon, it can go aggressive, but mostly you gotta remember it's mostly a spinner that just gets used to put down a lot of pressure on things with Skull, Sludge Bomb, Poison Jab if it wants to go physical. Also has knockoff. Roserade, that hazard setup with the Sleep Powder. Also has, what does it use? It has Poison Point, but also has Natural Cure, so you can't just keep it locked down. So generally speaking, it's going to be looking to do the same thing as Roselia. Set up its spikes, set up the Sleep Powder first, then set up its spikes, Toxic Spikes. Whatever you need done, use some aggressive pressure as it does get a good special attack stat. Here we go, though. I am Groot. Your PU or NURU pick. What are you finishing your team off with for Season 5? Tensions rise. It's got a P or NURU choice. Still see a couple of things that just could be good. Maybe a denial pick, something to trade for later, something to finish it off. Maybe he's got some kind of plan he could pick up here. I mean, his team is pretty solid as it is. Maybe gets another attacker. Or another wall poke. Ribombee! Attaboy. I love Ribombee. Ribombee should not be slept on. This thing does have Quiver Dance. It is fairly fast. It does have access to Stab, Bug, and Fairy type attacking. It hurts. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good as just that one direction kind of just wants to do damage. Also really fast. It can use Specs. We learned that as well, where it can hurt a little bit with that. Just great offensive typing. I think Ribombee's a great finish off for this type of team here. Golden State Greninjas, your PU or NURU pick, please. What will finish off the pseudo rain team? I like how he didn't go all in on the rain though. It's just kind of similar to the Hippowdon Lycanroc pick. He's got the Pelipper Ludicolo option to get teams that can't handle it potentially if he can catch people off guard with it. Having it as an option for himself is great. But what will be the last finishing touches here for the Golden State Greninjas? There is one Pokemon that would there's a couple of Pokemon that'll synergize with. There's a few Pokemon that I just keep finding. Oh, this'll work, that'll work. I've seen that before in the rain team, but what else does he need? Ambipom was most certainly not my choice, but I'm not playing, so it doesn't matter. Ambipom, that Pokemon that keeps moving all over the place in tears and will never be fully appreciated for how crap it was for a Gen 4 evolution. Anyways, it gets Fake Out. It's got Double Hit, one of the few Pokemon that'll run Double Hit on its moveset because it gets stabbed with it. Fast, U-turn, Taunt, pain in the ass type Pokemon, Thunder Wave, I guess. It's obnoxious. It's good. Sarasota Suicunes, your PU pick. Have fun with this. Despite the fact I still think PU has some strength left in it just for scooping up something good. You're right, it does have that almighty Technician Swift. Whoa. I guess it has that going for a Technician Fake Out. Double Hit, I think, also gets Technician Boost, so... Wait, does it get Technician? Or is that just Apom? I don't remember. I don't remember, honestly. Licky Licky for that Cloud9, obviously. But, fat Pokemon. Can tank a few hits. Does deny weather with Cloud9. It's got access to actually powerful moves like Power Whip and Power Whip. Power Whip. Let's get Heavy Slam? Maybe. I don't know. Fortnite Ninjas, what are you finishing this with? He's going to pick Slowking. Just to remind everybody that, by the way, Slowking is his boy. Slowking, as we saw last season, very good. I mean, just in general, just having the Regenerator's great. But also, again, having that switch pressure is going to feel good for stuff like Bulu or Conkeldurr that are going to want to set up. He can also make it very good by forcing switches with Dragon Tail, so he's got a little bit of answers with that. But I think with that type of round out, sort of just gets his best Pokemon in while putting pressure down on those who are going to try and take more than 1 or 2 hits from his sweepers like Gengar or Latias or things like that. So it'll help him out quite a bit, as you saw as a Season 4 champion. Ice Cold! Your PU or NURU pick? Hey, Liz, how you doing? I don't think Sharpedo was really a great choice here either, but we're not done picking yet, and I'm not the one who's playing. Yanmega, however. Well, there's that Pokemon that we wanted to see that would be, hey, if Trick Room's not working, I have someone who could be fast non-stop now. Yanmega with Speed Boost and Tinted Lens could just do a lot. You can cover quite a bit. You can actually see on the later half here of the picks, got a lot of his Trick Room potential Pokemon, or just a lot of slow Pokemon. But the Kyurem Yanmega try and just round out and just give him that speed in case that strat's not going to work. Yanmega does suffer from times 4 weak to rocks, but I mean, it's out there to just do damage as much as it can. Coverage is pretty good. It gets Bug Buzz, Air Slash, Giga Drain, HP Fire, stuff like this. It could do a few things here for Nish if needs the coverage. Tyler Poke Trainer PU pick. Electrode! I am so literally shocked. Not just by this Electro Pokemon pick, and that was not meant to be a horrible pun. But, so Electrode is a really fast pivoter. It's got access to Volt Switch. It can do Rain Dance strats if he wants it to for some stupid reason. But Electrode's just really fast. It doesn't have much going for it, but I think it gets Signal Beam with Thunderbolt and Volt Switch. Also Explosion Taunt, I believe. So it could be a little bit of a pain for... It could be kind of an anti-lead to an extent. But, yeah. We'll leave it at that. Transfer City Thunderous, your P or NURU pick, please. Archeops. Oh, wow, interesting. Okay. So the fun thing about Archeops is, if you keep it healthy, it does a bunch of damage. You don't keep it healthy, it does a bunch less damage. However, could just be like, hey, it's the best of the batter. I don't see it necessarily being needed. It's a great wall breaker. Great choice band or choice scarf or whatever you want to use it for. I think it also gets Sword Dance, if I recall correctly. Probably don't, but either way. Another bird, another acrobatics user. Could just try and put that to good work and try and give him a little more coverage in that sense. Chill up your PU poke, please. He wanted Excelgor and he got there. Excelgor is not the right tier, though. I just looked up. Ha! I was like, wait a minute. Excelgor, make the connection check. Go back to PU. Nice try. That was a good pyramid you built there with all the things you said. So your secret strat actually blew up in your face. That's okay. What is your PU pick, my friend? Simipour. You know, I don't hate Simipour. Simipour might not have the best things like everybody else. It does have access to Gluttony for those speeders. So, like, if you want to go, what's it called? Not Lieki. Is it Lieki? No, it's... Lieki Berry is for special attack. Salak Berry is for speed. But if you want to go those berries with Gluttony, it's not the worst. Gets access to Nasty Plot. It has Hydro Pump or Scald. It has Ice Beam, HP Grass. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's a good Pokemon to finish stuff off with. Not number one, but in a pinch when you need that type of coverage and you're not finding it with your team, you get something. Not the worst thing in the world. Manchester Manetric Ivan. Is it actually Pataya? I second guessed. I'm like, is it Pataya? God damn it. Dude, I need to stop doing that. I have been second guessing everything. Zygarde 10%. Alright, that's going to round off Manchester Manetric's team. It is a dog, so it makes sense. Zygarde 10% has access to 1,000 arrows, which will hit those pesky flying types and bring them down. But also, it's a good Pokemon. It's got good speed, it's got good special attack, good attack. Or I think it mainly has better attack, but... To finish off his team, he needed more aggressive Pokemon. I'm kind of liking what he's picked up here. He can't use Power Construct, but... Zygarde 10% is going to give him some good support. Last but not least, you finish this off, Soto dude. A PU or NURU poke. What are you grabbing? He wants the Ampharos. Cool thing about Ampharos is electric dragon typing is kind of cool. It's fat. Can take a hit or two here and there. Threatens with T-Bolt, threatens with Dragon Pulse. It gets Cotton Guard. I think I've seen it use Cotton Guard as well, where it could just kind of be similar to Mega Altaria, where it could just tank a bunch of hits on the physical side and kind of set up from there and just go from there. But also carries Dragon Tail if you really wanted to go on that sense. I think it carries its own Earthquake too. It's not great, but it could do it. But nonetheless... Either way, that's the teams, ladies and gentlemen. The 11 teams have been made. The rest of the Pokemon will be placed into the pools. I'm very surprised with a lot of things that have come out of this draft. Very, very surprised. I don't even want to think about... I'm not even going to... Yeah, we're waiting for the podcast for this. I have no idea what even to say about half these drafts. But nonetheless, if you guys do want to take a look at the teams, you can do so by going over that exclamation teams command. You can also find all the information on our Discord if you want to keep following all the action. We also have a ProPokeBowl community link in Challenge if you guys want to follow everything going on there. Give the hottest takes. Diego got such a freaking good draft for being nonstop in the middle. That's my hottest take. I don't know how he got all that stuff, really. I don't know, I kind of feel like there's a couple of drafts I need to double check to see what I'm feeling like here, but I don't know, it's I don't know, it's like I don't think Koma got exactly what he wanted. Diego got steals. Golden State Greninja, it's world leader. It's hard to predict what he wants to do. He's a memer. It's very difficult to think about what he wants to do, but I think he has the base for something good if he plays with very specific Pokemon. Sarasota Suicune's got a lot of power. Now it's up to whether or not he can build a team around it. Mitchie W's team is just solid beyond imagination. I think with the pickups that he got later on, he can make a couple of good trades with the pools, or with the leftover pools. Ice Cold looked good to begin with. Kind of seemed like he got a lot of great value if he wants to actually play out that choice. If he doesn't play Trick Room at this point, it might be really difficult, but otherwise has a good setup if he can make it work with the right sweepers and the right Trick Room setters. Lunar Cresselia is a lot of just mixed bag of stuff here, but might get him somewhere. It's a very momentum-based team with some good wall breakers. Don't feel like it's complete, though. Again, that's one of the teams I need to look back and see what's actually happening with that. TC Thundurus grabbed a lot of good value. There's a few Pokemon that I'm kind of scratching my head about, but I don't think that's necessarily mean it's bad. It's just mostly I don't know most things like Alolan Raichu. I don't really know exactly what it's going to want to do with Dodrio at the same time. Could just be pickups to kind of sit there and just exist. But as the main core of Pokemon, I think it's very powerful with what he's grabbed, and Volcarona can carry quite a bit of it. Miami Milotics randomized into some pretty good Pokemon, honestly. I think there's a potential for a lot of aggressive-based hazard setting and just kind of going face first into everything and try and kill stuff up fast as you can. Manchester Manectric got the defensive core he needs. He needs a bunch of things to swap between to figure out his way through it, but he pretty much grabbed things that he wanted at the right time. Personally, I think that's the fairest way to say it. And Todd Skyrim Howards, I think it's a pretty good team. I think he's got a lot of power picks here. Used correctly, this could do a lot of damage. It doesn't matter if it was a meme or not with Oricorio and stuff like that. I think he's got a couple of flexible options here. He does have that Trick Room setup that he could potentially do, but he also just has a really solid non-Trick Room team that can, built correctly, look fairly solid. I have to kind of build the teams to see if I can use them well to pin him against other people, but I think it's going to matter on matchups, and there's enough flexibility for him to work with matchups. But yeah, those are my hottest takes. Rank it? That's too tough, man. We're gonna do that on the podcast. Gotta save some information for the podcast. We'll leave it at that. God, it feels good to be back. And it's going to feel so good that I'm going to get yelled at to go get some tea with honey, because I'm going to have to go get some tea with honey and also an ice pack for my fingers, because I don't know. Do I have to keep moving? No, I have to keep moving them, I think. Still want them to freeze up. It just really freaking hurts. But yeah, nonetheless, that's the Season 5 Draft Day. Thank you very much. Ow, why'd I do that? Thank you very much for joining us for the drafts. First battle week will start next Wednesday, July 24th at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. It says 7 p.m. That's when we'll try and aim to have stream up, but battles will start after a brief introduction here at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will have the brackets released. Let's see if we can actually grab a picture of the brackets right now to give you guys an idea of who you're looking at to fight. Where am I here? Where am I here? Challenge, does that still work? Does this still work? Hell yeah, it does. Except it's on the wrong page here. Hold on. Is that correct? Ooh, did I do it? I did it. Perfect. There you go. There's your week 1 battles. Todd Skyrim Howard versus I Am Groot. The Manchester Manectrics versus Golden State Greninjas. Transverse City Thunders versus the Miami Milotics. Sarasota Suicunes versus the Fortnite Ninjas. And the LA Golden Lucaris versus Ice Cold. There will be a graphic put out for that, so don't worry about it too much. You don't need to see it on the screen right now. But we're going to get started right into this. We got a tournament ahead of us, and I'm looking forward to it. If you want to follow all the action and follow more analysis and stuff like that, make sure you go listen to the Pro Poke Podcast on YouTube. It's soon to be on Google Play Store. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Until then, next stream is this Friday at a time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time? Something like that. Who has the bye? I believe it's Lunar Cresselia. You should be able to check that for yourself. It's Lunar Cresselia. They have the bye for this week. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you next week. We'll get into the battles, and we're going to have a fun season. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. For those of you who are new to the ProPokeBowl, you can stay up to date by just following the channel. You'll know when it's coming up. We advertise everything on social media. If you go over to twitch.tv/ProPokeTube/videos/collections, you can watch thousands of hours of past content. Yeah, Sai, this is your time. Go, man. You're going to be much faster than I'm going to be. And everywhere you guys support the content is greatly appreciated. This community-based event has always been fantastic for bringing people back together, old and new players who join me from the very roots of Pokemon Showdown battling. That's why we keep it up. I might not be a battler anymore, but I love watching people who just like to have fun with this type of tournament. We'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, Team Pocket Aces, myself, Zeno, Emma, and Tim and Ox all make content over there. You should go check that out. Till then, guys, see you Friday, but we'll see you next week for ProPokeBowl Season 5, Week 1. Take care, and peace. And yes, we will be hosting people. Bands need to be in by tomorrow. Yes, I'll go over all the details on Discord the moment we're done here. See ya.